So here we go. Since 1929, George Uli, the last Tiger to make consecutive starts in the game in consecutive days. Bo Brisky was the opener in the 1-0 win for the Tigers, ending in a third and one strikeout, no hits. He's going to be the opener again for Detroit as they'll get set to pitch here first, Brett. Beautiful Comerica Park, one of the best ballparks in all of baseball. Again, a little bit of bias for me, but that's still what I say. This is a giant game for the Tigers here because the Baltimore Orioles are 83-65. Gunnar Henderson broke up a no-hitter. Tigers were kind of flirting with a perfect game before the walk from Ryan Herder. They still hold on to win 1-0 yesterday. Brandon Hyde's lineup's going to look a little bit different. We'll go through it as we go along. But it'll be Gunnar Henderson at short with Cedric Mullins and Anthony Santander as this first pitch is high on the fastball and outside. So this is going to be a giant game. I am expecting fully, even though I am a Tigers fan, I'll admit that to you on the broadcast, that the Baltimore Orioles will come back with a vengeance because the Yankees, they were down 4-0 yesterday. They stormed up and they won 5-4. And then I think the Red Sox won today, but still two of the first three for the Bronx Bombers. We covered that one on the Thursday side in the victory. So I would expect Baltimore to kind of follow suit here. They still have a lot to play for in the AL East. And for the Tigers themselves, with the Twins' loss yesterday and their victory, just 2.5 games back of the final wild card occupied by Minnesota, who's got the tiebreaker. So that is everything to look forward to right now coming into this game. Bo Brisky, again, as we said, back-to-back consecutive openers. First time, I think this is since 1923. So a 3-1 count against Gunnar, and he offers it a ball. But this one is sent back with a four-seam 3-2. So there's going to be a lot of trepidation here. And the one thing that'll be nice, at least in this game, I will be able to give you the live update as far as the Twins, because they're underway right now with the Tigers. So we can kind of look at that in real time and see where it goes. If it goes back to 3.5. And Brisky issues a walk to Gunnar Henderson. So you can already get the perfect game, no-hitter, all that stuff all out of the way, I would imagine. Last 8 appearances as an opener for Bo. 12 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 9 walks, 15 strikeouts. So the walks are there, but the damage is limited. And again, for Brisky, I would think probably an inning and a third last time. There'd be an inning here again. They say Ty Madden's going to do the bulk of the work. Cedric Mullins, his fastball way high. So right now the command for Bo Brisky is eluding him. Unfortunately for me, I think from what happened yesterday, I imagine I might be up against it. If the game gets way too crazy on the hand, we can go shot for shot across the league. Cedric Mullins, giant swing on a fastball, but that'll just be a straight back foul. The Seattle Mariners are only 3.5 games back, so they are still in the running, but they also have the luxury of the AL West to possibly be that opening alongside the Houston Astros. He's right back over to first here to try to check on Henderson. He's back safely. So there really is only one avenue for the Tigers. 2.48 ERA in the last 37 games. Openers 4 runs on a lot of innings pitched. Again, 3 of the 5 days are openers. Cedric Mullins with another big swing. And this will go straight back amongst the screen where Jake Rogers will take a courtesy look at it. Again, Jake Rogers is going to be the catcher today. It was Dylan Dingler yesterday, and the former Tiger, James McCann, will be batting 9th for the Baltimore Orioles when they get to that part of the order. Hopefully not here in the first inning, because that means things go really wrong. Chris Fetter's 4th season as a Tigers pitching coach, I think, has done quite well. Those guys are definitely going to get a raise, considering what's been going on this year. 1-2. Henderson down in the dirt, and this one gets away. Henderson will not go farther than second, though. So stolen base. Cedric Mullins is in business. 2-2 count. So Bo Brisky's really got to make sure that he buttons up here early in this game. We're just underway here at Comerica Park. But with Gunnar Henderson's steal, And no outs. And the runner on second here. Cedric Mullins with a single can make this a 1-0 lead for Baltimore. They'd already scored more runs than they scored yesterday. So that'll be something to watch. 2-2. Henderson with a cautious lead now at second after getting the steal. That is a good pitch, and Cedric Mullins will take that one for a ball. So Bo Brisky right now, not the start that he's looking for. Cedric Mullins, 231, 17 bombs, 50 RBI. He is a threat on the base paths once he gets there, and a threat with the bat. Takes a walk. So Bo Brisky back-to-back walks in his 12 pitches to start the day. And I would not be surprised at this point if A.J. Hinch starts to get everyone else warm. I know they want to make sure with the opener. And Chris Fetter, he's doing it. He's going right to the phone right now just to make sure, because they cannot let this get away from them, the Tigers. Again, it's very unlikely, and I'll say this honestly, that they do make the postseason, because you're going to need a lot of help from the Twins. But this is a giant game. You cannot let it get away from you. Big swing and a miss, Santander, not even close to the strike zone. Bo Brisky, really, for Santander, that's helping him out. So Ty Madden, starting to get warm in the bullpen. He was the one that was going to be the long relief today. Bo, good pitch. Fastball, 96. The bottom part of the strike zone. Just caught that back end. 0-2. Still got to be very careful with Santander, no matter the count. He's got 41 home runs on the year, and he can get nasty. 89 on a changeup. It was a good look there for Santander. That was a ball and a half outside the strike zone. JV, former Tiger, is going to pitch today against the Angels. Got a 5.30 ERA and a 3-6. 1-2. This one spiked in the dirt, but still offered at. And Santander still sitting at 1-2. Bo Brisky in this pitch sequence has gotten up to 96 on the fastball and then 98 on the last. So he knows where his bread is buttered here. He's just going to go empty the tank as much as he can in this first. Henderson with a cautious lead. Runners on first and second. Back-to-back walks. Santander, there's a really good cut on an inside fastball. Tigers fortunate that he pulled that one foul. So they're showing Santander's spray chart. A lot of this at Camden. That is a heavy pull on that right field side. It's a very short wall at Comerica. Right near that Pepsi porch, that could be vulnerable. 1-2. Santander waiting. There's a swing. This is a good stab. Are they going to be able to pull two? Double play! Big play there for the Tigers. They really needed it there. Still got Henderson at third, but Santander hit a frozen rope right to Torkelson, and he was still able to get that double play there. That was blasted right toward the right side of the bag. And then after the throw over, Bo Brisky was able to get there in plenty of time to be able to step on the bag. Although the job's not done, Adley Rutschman going to be able to get off of his feet today unless he's at the bat rack. The DH switch hitter got some very good numbers for the 26-year-old. I put him as a star. What do you think? 253 average, 18 home runs, 74 RBI, 62 runs scored. Got Henderson at third. Good pitch for Brisky with a dot on the outside corner at 96. Fewest double plays in Major League Baseball this season, 66, but a fourth ground ball rate. That was a big turn, maybe not one that's normally apropos. 0-1. Good walk by Jay as he was able to get the chest protector on that one. 1-1. Brisky, 20 pitches into his day. This might be the only inning he gets as the opener, but who knows? They're showing some of the young players, Grayson Rodriguez, Rutschman, Henderson, Westberg, Cowser, and Holiday. Just a plethora of good young talent with more in the pipeline. Big swing and a miss on a changeup. Had the timing for Rutschman all messed up there. 1-2. Bo Brisky, he is one pitch away from getting out of this after walking the first two batters. Crowd knows what they see right now. They're getting to their feet and making noise. Brisky still got to be careful, though. Rutschman can definitely put one in the seats. 1-2. Pitch clock down to 5. They want a high fastball, but it's a low changeup. And Rogers does keep it in front of him. That will put Henderson at bay at third. You don't want to get too greedy here early because the Orioles didn't have a lot of chances yesterday. 2-2. Rutschman again, the young catcher, but still 26. He was called up late, so that service time hasn't really hit yet. 2-2. What's Brisky going to do here? Strike 3! Bo Brisky gets out of it. Issues a double play and then strikes out Rutschman. What a giant set for Brisky there to keep this one a 0-0. Let's go to bottom 1. Well, that was an incredible turn of events. And again, that was only the top of the first. Baltimore had an opportunity to probably score 2 or 3 runs. They get nothing. Tigers, Parker Meadows, Colt Keith, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green will be the first 4 batters. First 3 will get a chance in the bottom of the first. But what I point out is a very lefty-loaded lineup for A.J. Hinch against the righty Corbin Burns, who is one of the very best in the league. So Corbin Burns on the mound. Again, the first time I get a chance to watch him live this year, 13-8, 3.18 ERA. Again, his ERA is in good shape because it's 7th in all of baseball. 115 WHIP, 43 walks, 157 strikeouts. Corbin does not throw anything straight. A lot of movement here. 93 on the cutter, does not get the call. Cutter, curve, slider, change, sinker. And on the inside, you would normally see a changeup in the sinker that runs in on the hands. There's run on everything, and he throws it all 4 strikes. So you got to be, I would say if you're the Tigers, you do need to be patient and find something in your zone. However, if he's going to throw a strike, you cannot allow yourself to get buried 0-2, 1-2 in these counts because he's probably going to put you away. Minimum 500 innings pitched, got 834 strikeouts, and Parker Meadows went golfing there, and 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the first. So Corbin Burns, I expect him to have a giant game. Again, as I said coming into this, if you're just joining me, I expect Baltimore to kind of right the ship from almost getting a perfect game and a no-hitter against them and a 1-0 loss. But Corbin Burns is going to be a machine. I would expect him to go at least 7 innings today. Consecutive plate appearances without a strikeout. Parker Meadows was 22 games in a row. But Luis Arise, let's just add a 1 in front of that as far as some of his stuff. He's just a machine there. So Colt Keith will be due up next, and I'll pull this on the side of the Tigers order. I'm just giving you some Corbin Burns notes. So again, let's just go through it. Cutter, curve, slider, change, sinker. On the inside, change up, sinker. See if the Tigers can key on that. Other than that, everything else can be thrown for strikes and as a run. Not much else to key on, except maybe the changeup and sinker, but you're going to pound those in the dirt, so that's going to be tough anyway. Colt Keith going to get the start today against Corbin Burns. Did not play yesterday. 259. It's a good swing for Keith. And they'll inside out that one to left field. It's Colton Cowser. He's got to play it on a hop. Colt Keith is a pretty good rookie, ladies and gentlemen, and he gets the Tigers a solid single, as that one was hit very well toward left field. And it'll go right in front of Cowser. Gets played up the hop. Kerry Carpenter, a la Kerry Bonds, as he's affectionately called in Detroit. He had the only run of the game when he batted second and hit a home run against Zach Eflin, and that was it. That was all. So Kerry now waiting on the 0-0 from Corbin. 9 pitches into his day. That is a really good cutter. Somehow he does not get the call. That was right on the inside edge, right at 97. Man, oh man. 1-0. See what Kerry can do here. I like that stance over the left shoulder. He's kind of got that toe tap there, kind of get ready. And 91 will go all the way on the outside. That was actually a good stop there for McCann. We'll get that in his glove. 289, 15 home runs, 50 RBI. Kerry Carpenter hasn't spent a lot of time in the lineup, but at 939 OPS in 75 games is limited time. That shows he's dangerous. It's a 2-0 count. You don't want to mess with Kerry here. Big cut on the cutter. He went for the downs, and he did not get close. That was way down and out of the zone. Chris Sale on the belly bar is 16-3 for the Atlanta Braves, and he's got a very good chance for the NL Cy, and I can't imagine anyone else would come close on that man. Could actually give him an MVP if it wasn't for Shohei Ohtani, really. 2-1. Kerry Carpenter took a long time to dig back into the box with the pitch clock down to 5. Corbin get this time from McCann. This will be Q. This should be an easy turn. And yes, it is. This is a very poor swing from Kerry Carpenter. It's kind of an excuse me. We'll go to the second for scoreless.
And this is your first hunch of the season. It's party time. FanDuel, a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV will give you many more. But no, it's Broncos. I take the over. And you can easily act on whichever one speaks to you. Eagles, Browns, Broncos, Bills, they all make every moment more. Customers get $5 to 200 bonus bets. Plus, every customer gets a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV. Only on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Why always the couch? Does he go to public school? Get his little public diploma? How much am I spending on school?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, a virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Interesting. On a day where there's been some openers, especially now for Tampa as well, Tyler Alexander, former Tiger, is going to be the primary for the Rays against the Guardians today. So it never ends. Maybe the Tigers have really kind of started that trend and built on it. You know, we've seen openers and starters and mix and primaries, but it's really crazy how the Tigers have kind of pioneered to success in this year.
But I'm just glad we got the win. Colton said he didn't know. He might not know. It's very possible that he didn't know, but I'm more impressed that he told you than I'm unimpressed that he didn't know.
So just some clarification in today's Miller Lite report. I talked to Tyler Holton again today. First of all, when I went to him on the 27th hitter, it was actually the 28th hitter, so that threw him for a loop. He said, I knew that question was coming, but he said, I knew what was at stake after the first out that he reported in the 9th inning when everybody was on their feet, that the no-hitter was still intact. But he said, I knew once the perfect game was going to have the Rutschman one to lead off the 8th inning. That's when I really started to get loose and stretch out, and I was just focused on what I had to do. So he said I was a little salty in it because I knew we got it done.
So here we go. This is the primary for today's game. Now, Bo Brisky was able to pitch a scoreless inning. It was in some hot water. He got the double play, and then Adley Rutschman struck out. Ty Madden is going to be the primary for this game. It's the first time we actually were able to cover him live. Second time watching him. Former Texas product is pretty good from what I can tell. As far as the fastball velocity, around 96. He does have a cutter, changeup, kind of the expected arsenal that you would have from starters with fastball, changeup, slider, cutter type deal. But he can be pretty good from what I've seen. But he's going to have to be on his P's and Q's against this Orioles team, as we talked about, because you do expect them to be able to do damage. They couldn't get anything going last night, but against Ty Madden, against a young starter like that, against a team like this, who knows? It could be the ignition switch. 96, that one just outside the fastball high, make it 3-2. For the Orioles and the Yankees, for that matter, maybe even throw the Red Sox in there, Tampa. Everybody's kind of been around 500. It's a no, you take it, traffic jam type of deal in the standings. That's a check swing. That's a pop fly to third base side, and Jace Young battles the sun, and he's got that one. So Ty Madden, 3 games, 14 innings, 2.57 ERA, very good. About a 17% strikeout rate, 7% walk rate, and an opponent's OPS of 578. So in his limited action, Ty's been very good. So we will continue to watch it. This plays against a team like Baltimore. The only thing I can tell you definitively, coming in from last night, when you had Colby Mayo and Jackson Holiday, and you kind of moved that a little bit around, they went with Emmanuel Rivera and Livan Soto 7 and 8, James McCann 9. So they changed the entire bottom third of their order. I wouldn't necessarily say to jumpstart, but there's a lot of guys that just don't have experience. It's stacked, and the Orioles lineup is good, but the bottom of the order, and I could jinx it, but the bottom of the order shouldn't provide that much danger to Detroit. That's just what I'm thinking. The Phillies were down 4-0. I just saw across the valley bar. It's now 6-4. That would be a brutal loss for the Mets, who are still trying to hang on to a wild card spot in the National League. 0-2, and Ryan O'Hearn way out of strikes on 96. So nothing wrong with the velocity here for Ty. As we'll get the toss back from Jake Rogers. Now, Jake Rogers, whether or not his offensive numbers ever perk up, I still think he's a good caller of the game. That's what you want to have of a catcher. Not an average arm and everything else behind the plate, but he does frame very well to be able to steal strikes when they need it. And that really does help young starters. I have to give him credit for that. So, Ty Madden, Alex Avila on the broadcast side with Dan Dickerson, because Jason Benetti's going to be calling football. So he looks like Bronson Arroyo, former Cincinnati Red. And this was hit right back up the box for the former Kansas City Royals, Ryan O'Hearn. And it'll be 1 on and 1 out in the top of the second. That splitter, this is a good look at the bat head for Ryan O'Hearn. They'll send that one right back up the box. Emmanuel Rivera will be due up next. He's playing third today for Brandon Hyde's squad. His 97th game in the major leagues, I believe. 223, 3 home runs. I'm going to side buzz the tower. With 22 RBI for the 28-year-old. Again, I should rephrase it. These is 96 games this season, not career games played. But does not hit for a lot of power. And we will continue to watch if anything else does happen. 93 up and in again, make it 2-0. Again, the Tigers have been throwing a lot of balls in this game so far, so the ratio has not been very good. They're showing Ty Madden's grip on the Valley Sports Detroit feed. That's where I got the local one today, tuning in for the O's and the Tigers. This is right to short. Sweeney, Keith, another double play for Detroit. It's their second in as many innings. Let's go bottom 2. We're still scoreless. That was tailor-made.
biggest offer ever. 80 months, no interest. Plus, half off every window we make for a very limited time, only from Walmart. This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the Turbomax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Just announced 1,000 rupees cash. GM employee program participants with a current eligible GMC lease can get this low mileage lease on this 2024 GMC Sierra Elevation for $239 per month. Tune in for Tigers Live tomorrow on Bally Sports and the Bally Sports app.
Hey, if the Tigers score 3 or more in this game, you can visit a participating Arlington division tomorrow. What do you get? A free small. We told you yesterday. We mean it. They're delicious.
4, 5, and 6 due up here for Detroit. The second double play turn. Corbin Burns back to the mound for Baltimore. As Tigers were caught swinging free and easy on pitches way out of the strike zone. They were leaning on that cutter. Riley Green is going to get off his feet today. He's the DH. It'll be Green, Wencel Perez, and Spencer Torkelson, 4, 5, and 6 due up in this bottom second. John out here with you on the call. I have the local feed for Bally Sports Detroit following Dan Dickerson and Alex Avila. It's a big one. Tigers are working their way in the wild card. I had to stop and do this game today. Riley Green, that's a great stab at second base. And for Livan Soto, able to get down to a knee, field that one, and get the soft toss over to Rhino Hearn. That was expertly done. And again, for Jackson Holiday, Livan Soto can say, hey, you might want to learn from me on that side of the play. Pretty good work there. Wencel Perez just been inserted back in the lineup his second game. I think he was dealing with a little bit of sore ribs, something like that AJ Hinch was talking about. They were talking maybe he wouldn't swing on the left side of the plate, but there he is today, and it looks like he's okay, able to do whatever he wants. But honestly, it looks like he's got some glove gloves on, a little kitchenette, and that greenish tint color. Looks like he was playing with some slime. 1-1 as the cutter ducks him out of the way. Corbin Burns is not afraid to pitch inside. He's got command as well, way outside on the changeup. 2-1. So for the youngster like Wencel Perez, is 24. He moves from right to left today. He was normally an infielder, but the Tigers need guys with speed, so they threw him there. Wencel will pick a soft bounce to Rhino Hearn, who'll just step onto the bag himself. 2 outs quickly. As this game just continues to motor along, it did also yesterday with only 1 run scored, courtesy of Kerry Carpenter. And right now, the leverage looks the same way, that this one could just be spinning tires for a while between both of these offenses. I wouldn't expect that to be the case going forward, but that's just where we are. Spencer Torkelson might be the last hope here, because he got a cutter right down the middle. He did not swing at it. 96, make it 0-1 on Spencer. His average continues to plummet. It is 217 now since his call up, and now he offers it a slider. Don't know what he was thinking there. That one way outside, and I don't think he's going to get anywhere close to this at bat. 8 home runs, 31 RBI for Spencer Torkelson in 78 games. As he continues to try to find his way in the major leagues. It's been a rough go for the number 1 pick. This one way outside on a slider. 217 though for Torque. Again, when he's not normally on, he's late on the fastballs that he shouldn't be. And he's got a lot of talent, but he's just got to find it at the plate. 95 on a cutter. I can't sit here and say he doesn't work as hard, because I couldn't tell you that for sure, but what I do know is he's good enough to hit AAA pitching, and there's a lot of good players in AAA, but it's hard to make that next step, and that's what he's trying to do. Big swing for Torkelson. This is a pop-up. Soto will give way to Santander. He'll pop out. Tigers are done. Scoreless. Let's go to the third.
when you switch to Straight Talk. Plus, get a $200 credit when you follow for 12 months. With Straight Savings, you save now and later. Straight Talk. Real unlimited data. Less dollars, more cents. This copyrighted telecast is presented by Adley and the Detroit Tigers. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers.
Sweet, we get to go to more baseball games together. Baseball is so connected between us.
So we're scoreless after 2. Baltimore is going to get set to lead things off here in the top of the third. We're at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. And I'm glad to have you guys here on the call. That you bounced in and out. Again, I've been doing some baseball here over the last few weeks. This will be the third cast of the week as we're doing some AL wildcard watch across. Now, depending on what happens this weekend, after this game, maybe Sunday, I might look at a Tuesday cast between Detroit and Kansas City. And then we'll see maybe for Seattle or something against the Yankees on Wednesday, depending on how close it is. Tuesdays and Wednesday might be my only streaming days of the week because I've got people coming over and it's going to be too rowdy to get anything going. So that's probably what I'm looking at next week, depending on weather.
Chasing in the wild card race. 15 games remaining for the Twins, 14 for the Tigers. Of course, they play Baltimore.
So I'm going to pull this portion of my box score up on ESPN. Make sure that that's all updated. Let's get back into the play-by-play here. Ty Madden, a second inning work. Livan Soto pulled that one. It would have been gone if it was fair. Boy, oh boy, he got to the fastball, but he hit it way foul. Again, they're showing this on the Dolly Sports Detroit feed. Minnesota owns the tiebreaker over Detroit. If you guys are young enough or old enough to remember, there is no game 163, so the Tigers will have to be a full game out in front if they want to go ahead and get the last wild card spot by the time the season is over. And there's only about 14 games left after this, so not much left to do here. So they're going to have to be pretty good about it, and they're going to have to get some help from Minnesota, who struggled mightily of late. Big swing and a miss. Soto, as Ty Madden records another strikeout. That was way down in the zone and not even close. As Detroit, they're showing it again. Eloy De La Cruz hit a grand slam for the Reds, and that's kind of what propelled them to the 8-4 victory last night. So it's the Tigers gained a full game after their 1-0 victory last night. Number 9 batter is the former Tiger, former All-Star for the Chicago White Sox, and James McCann, 221 so far this season. And then we'll flip back over to the top of the order. Now, James McCann, from what I know, not in Detroit time, but especially for Chicago, when they were playing a guaranteed rate, he does have some pull power. Let's get a good camera shot of Alex Seville and Dan Dickerson. Dan Dickerson's an absolute legend here in Detroit. This is a good stab by Sweeney. Get the toss over to Torkels. That's a good set of hands for Trey Sweeney as he gets that toss over. 2 up, 2 down, top 3. And you know what? Honestly, maybe thought of an afterthought for Trey Sweeney. Who knows? Because he was kind of lunged into that Dodgers system. But man, oh man, you could have just had him over there over Javier Baez. And then with Jack Flaherty trade might be a pretty good one for Detroit, especially if Trey can find his power swing. Henderson, the first time up, drew a walk from Will Brisky. This time goes up against Ty Madden. Probably we'll see him one more time before the Tigers will swing around again, probably 6 or 7, go back on the bullpen side. Gets the call on a splitter. That was pretty generous, but Madden's going to take it. Make it 1-1. Gunnar Henderson is absolutely to be feared. The 23-year-old does it all as far as the stats. Big swing on a cutter. That was right there, and he missed it. 281, 36 home runs, 85 RBI, 111 runs, 72 walks, 145 strikeouts, 18 stolen bases, and he's still only 23 years old. So, dude has got superstar written all over him, I would think. That does not get a strike 3 call for Madden Ball 2. That's a makeup call. back on the last side. So if Ty places that there again and Henderson doesn't swing, that's probably a punch. Down way low. And Jake Rogers didn't need to get that one on the crouch. But 3-2. Still want to be careful here with Gunnar Henderson. He's walked in his first plate appearance, and that was right in the top right part of the box and in the zone. But call the ball. 3-2 after the curve in the dirt. This one fouled in near the shins, and they'll stay alive. I think it's Lance Barksdale. Yes, it is, behind the dish today, calling balls and strikes. He only just missed one and made up the others, so all's fair among more, I guess. And the over-under is set at 8 runs. We did not get anywhere near close to that last time. Second full count pitch against Henderson. Is he going to walk again? What's going to happen here? Good swing, and that's going to be a base hit. Easy extra base. Is this played off the wall for Kerry Carpenter? It's a 2-out double for Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson was the one that broke up the no-hitter in the 9th. He's able to get a triple. He gets his 28th double right here, and it keeps it still alive for Cedric Mullins. He got a good pitch to get to. I think that was a fastball out and over the plate, and he just pulled that thing to the right field wall, and Kerry Carpenter had to just play it. He did exactly what he was supposed to do there. Gunnar Henderson's got too much speed to ever keep that on single. And now for Cedric Mullins, you can be careful here, but then you got to deal with Santander. You really can't win on that side. This lineup's very good. Mullins falling straight back at 94. So Cedric Mullins, he's been hurt a little bit this year, but still 17 bombs, 50 RBI, 27 stolen bases for the 29-year-old. Still very, very good lefty bat. Plays a premium defense, or at least a very good defense. At 86, this is a cutter way outside, make it 1-1. Cedric Mullins, former All-Star. Again, you expect him to come through in situations like this. His first plate appearance, like Henderson, was a walk, but Henderson follows it up with a double. Way high on a splitter that did not threaten the zone. Make it 2-1. We'll give you some scoring updates as they become pertinent throughout the league. This is one of the early games. There are a few ones that have been done before the Tigers game started, however, so we'll get to those in a moment. Good leverage up at the third. Cedric Mullins trying to come through. This is right down the middle, and this should be a run for Baltimore. Here's the throw to the plate. This is not cut off, and that was easy. Cedric Mullins put that right back up the box. And a challenge to throw there for Parker Meadows, but Gunnar Henderson runs too well. So Baltimore has already scored more runs than they scored all of last night. They lead 1-0 here in Detroit. Again, 2 pitches that missed over the plate, kind of splitters, fastballs that are sitting right there, almost on a tee, really. You have to say it that way. And Ty Madden's going to be able to have to take some damage against him. He's just lucky it stayed in the ballpark. So Santander with 2 outs and Mullins at first. Fastball high. Ty Madden, we're going through his second inning of work, has already given up 1 run through an inning and 2/3. Bo Brisky thought he might give up 3 or 4, but he got a double play and a strikeout when he really needed it. So 1-0. Mullins is a threat to go. That was dotted, a splitter toward the right side of the box on the back door, making 1-1. Cedric Mullins, I think, is just a couple stolen bases away from 30. If they really want to push this thing. 94 on a fastball, and Santander swings late and right through it. Tigers trying to keep this right where it is because Corbin Burns is not going to give up much. We already know that. And you got Soto, Kimbrel, you got good options in that bullpen. So they could return a 1-0. 86 on a slider, not close. Make it 2-2. Again, for Ty Madden as the primary, I would imagine he would go 4 innings and then see where they are. But there's going to be a lot of stress pitches here against a lineup like this. 2-2. 96 followed back up high in the zone. The Orioles early in this game, from what we've noticed, especially on the live call, they've reached for pitches way out of the zone, and they have not hesitated to chase on high fastballs. as the hit and run was on for Mullins, but he had to go back tether to first.
2-2 count here.
2-2 count again for the second straight time.
The right pitch here to Santander.
Spiked in the dirt. Rogers throws. Not going to get Mullins. So 2 stolen bases already. 1 for Henderson, 1 for Mullins. Jake Rogers has a average arm. Tyler says this ump should be fired. There has been some calls that have, one was egregious, one was a makeup. So far, I'm okay with it. We'll see where the rest of it goes, Tyler. I want to throw it out that way. But I'll take your comment. 86, as this goes on the first base line and foul. Again, I appreciate you listening to me. I think it was Greg Gania on the radio side, because Dan Dickerson and Alex Seville are doing TV, because Jason Benetti is going to be doing the college football this weekend. So I appreciate you listening in. Full count pitch. Mullins at second after the steal. Orioles trying to add on. 95. Rogers discards the mask, but I'll have to quickly put this one back on, as we will keep this going. So an 8-pitch battle. This will continue. It has been 4-seam split mix, and 1 slider was the 4th pitch in this sequence. So you pretty much expect fastball splitter with a 93 to 84 differential somewhere in there. 3-2. Hyde. This one goes to Torkelson. He'll step on the bag himself. So the damage is done and the seal is broken. It is Cedric Mullins bringing in Gunnar Henderson. It's 1-0 O's. Called ball should have been a strikeout, and that changed the entire inning. Yeah, there was an at-bat that extended it, and that led to a run. That's definitely for sure. So Gunnar Henderson continues his strong day. Walk, double, stolen base. Mullins got him in with an RBI. So 1-0 Baltimore. Just getting some notes in here for the story. When that gets typed up again, it'll be up at Hopeful Sports Guy per usual, as we head to Detroit's bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Jace Young, Trey Sweeney, and Jake Rogers, 7, 8, 9. With the double play, we're still in that same part of the order where it's the first time through against Corbin Burns when we get to it. All important for Detroit are the Reds and Twins. Again, the Elly De La Cruz Grand Slam. Watched that one yesterday. Got pretty excited on that as the Tigers gained the game with the 1-0 win yesterday. Baltimore already has more runs than they did all of yesterday. They're leading 1-0. But the Twins lost 8-4. So the Tigers entering today are only 2.5 back. That game will get underway, Reds and Twins, in about 20 minutes. So we'll give you updates there when it goes across.
We have a Lions game at 1. And the Tigers game has been moved up from the traditional 1:40 Sunday start time to 12:10.
So Dan Dickerson giving updates here locally. I want to put those across to you just in case anyone does listening in. So Tigers game was 1:30, but the Lions are playing the Bucks at Ford Field. So I think they moved up the Tigers game to 12, and the gates open at 10:30. So Tigers at noon, gates open 10:30. That was moved up from about a 1:30 start because the Lions are playing at Ford Field against the Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. I want to throw that out there for anyone that does listen in or listen late. So 2-1 is Jace Young against Corbin Burns. Again, we talk about 5-pitch mix, all of them for strikes, all of them with run. 94. That is a dotted cutter right on the belt to the right. Make it 2-2. For Jace Young, I do like him, but it's going to be tough, especially against a pitcher like this. If you get a strike, you better swing at it. 2-2. Wow, that was a curveball with a ton of movement. at 78, a little lollipop right after a 97 mile-an-hour cutter on the bottom part of the black. Former Tiger James McCann tried to frame it. Full count for Jake's. Draws the walk. Very good at bat for Jace Young. And that'll bring up Trey Sweeney here before we go to Jake Rogers. And then we go back to the top of the order for the first time. This would be pretty cool if the Tigers could answer here. Again, I say that. I try to put it straight down the middle, but I won't lie. Again, I am a Tigers fan, Detroit sports fan. The reason why I'm doing this game is because they're right there in the wild card standings, and I kind of have to. Pitch clock down at 2. Sweeney takes a ball and a changeup. That one not close. Make it 1-0. 224 average for Sweeney. Does have a little bit of pop in this bat from what we've saw in his 23 career games. 4 home runs. Sweeney, cutter, way low. 2-0. First couple pitches not close. 3 straight pitches here for Burns, way out of the strike zone. Maybe I shouldn't say the last walk, but especially the last 2, way down low. And almost caught Young leaning. They'll take a disengagement. Throw over O'Hearn, and it's still 2-0 against Trey, the former Los Angeles Dodgers product. He was the pickup from the trade for Jack Flaherty. He's a sure-handed shortstop. That's what we know of him right now. 2-0. Inside on the hands of a cutter. He thought about running out of the box. The camera did not cut. Dan Dickerson calls foul. And again, I can take a breath. Anyone on the YouTube comment side, I said now the Tigers are 2.5 back entering today. Are they going to make the playoffs? The one vote, I think it was Tyler. He says yes. I say thank you, sir, for that. I feel a little bit better. 2-1. As Young is at first. Sweeney caught on a changeup. Good looking swing, but an even better pitch at 89 right on the outside black. Make it 2-2. Corbin Burns has made him throw some pitches so far. Not elevated too much, but 36 pitches through 2 innings. As we sit with 1 on, bottom third. 89 changeup, low and away. 3-2. Don't know if A.J. Hinch is going to want to put on a hit and run here, because I'm just not sure about Sweeney just yet. But we'll see. Jace Young, very tenuous. He uses the second disengagement. So now that means Jace Young, if they want to, if you throw over, that means you got to get him. So Jace Young could take a little bit bigger of a lead here because Corbin Burns used both disengagements. That's a full count. So we'll see what if A.J. wants to get busy here. Full count against Trey Sweeney. And he does not swing at the cutter. That was right at the belt. And that is right there. He does not swing. And Sweeney punches out. Jake Rogers will get one last look before the lineup turns over. 93 games played so far this year. His average, 195, just below the Mendoza line. But I think the most disappointing part offensively for Jake is the power's been way down. He's only got 10. You can normally get you about 20, 25. Does not look like he's going to get anywhere close to 15 as we're halfway through September, leading into October. He does know how to frame pitches. Got to give him that, though. 0-1. Righty against righty here. Pitch number 39 upcoming from Burns. This one is going to be a tailor-made double play, and the Tigers are turned away. 5-4-3. So it will go to the 4th, and the O's lead 1-0 with the Rutschman, Cowser, and O'Hearn due up next.
Saying this will win the break. He said we're going to challenge. And the grounds crew getting their wetsuits coming out to now they got to go back in. Looks like he beat it. I think he beat it. He gave the same side.
That's out. No, he's out.
Always tell you how it's going to go. But Jake thought he was saying, here we go. When the ball hits the leather in the pocket, that's considered a catch. I got his foot on the bag before. Yes, great luck, guys.
Yeah,
Great luck.
he's safe.
I mean, it is all so close. And in past years, it felt like the replay officials in New York would say that's too close. I think that's clear and convincing. Do you agree?
I think that's clear and convincing.
And it feels like this year they have done a better job of making the close call, making it correctly. Here we go. So foot on the bag before the ball hits the leather.
It looks like it's on the bag. The problem is, Dan, is that when you see the catcher give the safe side after hustling down the first base line, but how are you going to believe it?
Here we go.
So I want to get this in because I called this before I went to commercial break that the double play was hit, but Jake Rogers hustles down the line, signals himself safe. AJ Hinch challenges, and the Tigers' third inning is going to continue. So Jake Rogers beat that one in the dirt. Young is out at second, but they could not get the ball in the glove in time for Rhino Hearn. So the Tigers, top of the order, will get an opportunity. We'll see if Parker Meadows can do anything with this, with the lefty-righty matchup in the next four batters. It was Meadows, Keith, Carpenter, Green to start this lineup. So Parker Meadows off for one. Tigers get second life in this bottom of the third, and that is a gorgeous, gorgeous curveball at 80 below at the belt, make it 0-1. Meadows 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. I don't have the TV on that loud, but Dan Nickerson and Nabil are laughing about something. 0-1. Burns. Pitch again. This one will be shot right to third. No problem. They'll get Meadows. So no damage done anyway. The double play was overturned, but it's the same result. This time we'll do it again for real, I promise. We come back for the fourth.
Does this look familiar? One of the guys' birthday is now. We fix bricks. Go to whattheguys.com right now. We'll fix your bricks for 15% off. Whattheguys.com. Jody J asks, about to add the 88 device to our network. Can our internet keep up? It can, Jody, but more devices means you need faster internet. We engineered Xfinity's network so you can.
So I'll throw this in for anyone listening on the YouTube side or the Twitter Spaces. I'll put this in the comments section. That is where we are with the latest scoring update in the third. It is 1-0 Baltimore as we get set for the fourth inning in a moment.
Introducing Chevy's best lineup of SUVs ever. The Rocket Always Ready Trailblazer, the first ever Traverse Z71, and the Chevy Trax.
Thank you guys for joining me on this beautiful Saturday in Michigan, though, because I know there's a lot that you could be doing. It's still nice outside, about 78 over here, but the pollen is crazy. I had to do workout inside. Otherwise, I would have got all messed up in the lungs. But take a look at some of these scores here. Rays and Guardians scoreless top 5. That is a live in-action game. What's set to be upcoming, as we said, all important for the Tigers, the Reds and Twins result. That's at 7:10 Eastern. A couple other 7:10s for you. Athletics, White Sox, Dodgers, Braves. They are not ruling out Shohei Ohtani pitching in the postseason, by the way. I saw that on MLB tonight, courtesy of Dave Roberts' quote. Cubs and Rockies, 8:10. Alec Nava at Alec, my other broadcast partner alongside Cooper Hopkins. He'll have Brewers Diamondbacks. If you want to follow him on Twitch, DAT Yinzer Alec ALEC. If you want to follow him for that one. Ty Madden back to work. 4, 5, and 6 in the order here for Brandon Hyde's squad. Adley, Rutschman, Colton, Cowser, Ryan O'Hearn. Again, my minor mess up here as the camera cut back was a double play. That's a good pick for Keith right in off the hop. And they'll get Adley Rutschman. But the double play overturned, but then Parker Meadows got the next out. So no harm, no foul. It's still 1-0 in this game. We're cruising along at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Again, I got the local feed, Valley Sports Detroit. That's the only one you get when you got the local side. Everything else is blackout. Brian Herter, they're showing him 5 2/3 innings, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, career high. He was nasty last night after the Bo Brisky opener as the Tigers were flirting with a perfect game before the Herter walk. Tyler Holton gave up a triple to Gunnar Henderson, but that's where it ended. It was 1-0. It's already 1-0 right now. Maybe we only get 2 runs in the first 2 games. That would be absolutely mind-blowing, to be honest with you. The 1-1 as the curveball misses to Colton Cowser, another good-looking prospect here for the Baltimore Orioles. Where do they keep finding all these people? I don't know. Long rebuild, but they turn it into just hits after hits on these picks, it seems like. And I know that they kind of ran into the Texas Rangers last year. I still think this was a young team that wasn't ready, but that's why they went out and got Corbin Burns. I mean, that's someone to get an ace of your staff to move things on. Sir Anthony Dominguez, former Tiger, Gregory Soto, former Philly, kind of move that around. This is a better team, I think, than last year, but I still wonder if they have enough to make it to the World Series. Can they win around? Yes, I expect them to do so. They couldn't do it last year, but I don't know if they have all the pieces to get all the way across yet. Check swing. Did he go? Colton Cowser on third base. Sump says he did. Ty Madden gets another punchy here as it's 2 out, top 4. So the show and Alex Avila and Dan Dickerson again. Gold standard of radio, broadcast, TV, anything. Again, when they put Jason Benetti, he's got cerebral palsy like I do. But when they put him in the driver's seat, we said we're going to pay you like the radio host. I mean, you get health insurance and all that stuff too. So not commissioned by TV when Valley Sports went through all their bankruptcy. So Jason's going to get his money. He's still going to do football, basketball, and he gets a chance to call some Tigers games. But when you get in the postseason, your main guys on TV don't carry. So it'll be Dan all the way through. If we get to hear some Dan Dickerson postseason baseball, that'll kind of remind me when I worked at the Oakland Press. And that'll bring a tear to my eye. That's good memories. I know they didn't win in 2006 and 2012, but just want to see postseason baseball. And this young team is right there. If they just spent a little bit more money, maybe you got a chance. Another play, Colt Keith down to an E. Makes the throw over to Torkelson as they get O'Hearn. Good defense there for Keith. Good inning there for Madden. Let's go bottom 4. Keith Carpenter Green due up next. Can't wait, though, for the NHL season to start. I am really jonesing for that. Next month, I think the Red Wings prospect game with the Dallas Stars is actually going on today, as I know one of my longtime friends at OU had mentioned that. So the Red Wings prospect game with the Dallas Stars is underway today. You can stream that one on the Red Wings site. I'm very excited for hockey. I do believe that Alec and I are going to have the opener with the Florida Panthers banner night. So we'll have that one down. And what I'm going to try to do is I'll get in contact with Cooper Hopkins next week as far as our trip plans, and I've talked about that a couple of times. But for him and I think it's December 3rd. It might be Tuesday, Wednesday, not sure. But when Columbus comes back to Calgary after the stuff that happened with Johnny Gaudreau and his brother, very, very sad. I am hoping that the Flames do some sort of retirement to get number 13 up to the rafters. That would be very cool. If that does happen, I want Cooper Hopkins with me in the driver's seat because, if you follow along anything on this channel, him and I have done a million Flame games together, and I really want to have that there because I know it's going to be a special moment. There's not going to be any dry eyes in the broadcast, I promise you, for both of us. I probably get a little bit choked up, but that'll be a must-see broadcast, and I really hope the Flames can pull that one out for Johnny Hockey. But the short term is if the Mariners made the postseason, I'm going to be asking Cooper Hopkins to call some baseball with me. We do like calling a lot of other stuff. We haven't had done a few baseball games here and there, but that was a lot of fun. We get a chance to work a couple M's games. See if Cole Keith can get something started here in the fourth. The Tigers are still in this thing. It's only 1-0 bottom four at Comerica Park, downtown Detroit. John here with you on the call. 1-0. Another cutter right in that same spot. Cole Keith will follow. Cole Keith, I believe, has the only base hit for the Tigers right now. It's no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Baltimore, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. Rhino, Hearn, Mullins, and Gunnar Henderson with the hits. Mullins gets the RBI, drives in Henderson. That's where we are, 96 on a cutter. So between 96 and 98, again, nothing straight, everything moving, everything for strikes. Very difficult to bunch up anything against Corbin Burns, one of the very best pitchers in the league. 2-1. This is a change-up down way low, and this will be bounced. So Colt Keith in the driver's seat here. Don't want to mess around with Colt too much. He does have power. He's known to put a good swing on the baseball. Got a good eye for a young man that he is at 22. 12 bombs on the year. 259 average. 3-1. Corbin attacks with the cutter on the inside. That one was a strike nonetheless. They get 3-2. 125 hits this year, 5th among rookies, most by a Tigers rookie since Castellanos in 2014. 138. Pretty damn good company because Nick Castellanos still getting the job done in Philly town. 95 stays with it on the cutter here. Nothing but cutters over the last 3 pitches. Last one was a changeup in the dirt. Well, that's what you want to see. Colt Keith looks locked in a couple times in that top half of the inning. He's able to get down to a knee, make the field, and toss over to Torkelson. Defenses look much better for Colt as well, so that continues to prove Tigers could have a good second baseman, middle infielder for a long time. Got a good bat. 3-2. Pitch clock down to 5. 94. A little fight with a soft tap. O'Hearn just gets his baby toe on the bag. And it takes Colt Keith as he had 1 up, 1 down here, bottom 4. Leave it up to Kerry Carpenter, and then Riley Green is the DH today, as we've said. He's normally in left because Parker Meadows seems like he's going to command center field for a long time, as long as he can stay here and hit. And that means Riley Green, when he gets to the 4 spot, is going to be able to stay off his feet today, which is good. Everybody needs a day off, but just throwing his bat in the lineup. Parker Meadows. Kerry Carpenter, will take a changeup. Follow that one at 90 toward the right side of the box high. 32% hard hit rate is the 4th lowest in Major League Baseball. So Corbin Burns, most of his pitches, cutter, sinker, those are pounded in the dirt and are turned over for double plays or soft outs from second to first. Good spike there on the cutter, and McCann able to get them off the hop. That one just kind of came out of the hands pretty funny there for Corbin Burns. Halfway to 100 here with 3 1/3 innings done for Corbin. He's been spotless with the exception of a Keith hit. Half heart, and they said he went. Kerry Carpenter could not hold up across home plate. Make it 1-2. Take another look on the camera shot to see if Kerry went. Yeah, he did. Just couldn't stop that front end of the bat. 1-2 pitch. He did not look at it this time. Able to hold up on a curveball, 2-2. Again, more of a 12-6 for Corbin on that curveball. And when it does threaten for strikes, you better look out. That one was way inside. It backed away Kerry Carpenter, but that curveball does seem to be an immediate weapon. And when you combine that with that sinker cutter, that is devastating. He does not throw a straight 4-seam. 2-2. This is soft serve. Gunnar Henderson is late as they come at the shortstop glove side. We'll toss over to Ryan O'Hearn. 2 up, 2 down, bottom 4. Uncomfortable swings right now for the Tigers against Corbin Burns. They're chasing after pitches that they shouldn't, but that's what Corbin can do. So 14 hits in September for Riley Green, who's due up next. 9 singles, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 2 bombs. And his spray chart's all over the field. That's what you want to see from Riley. He is one of the ones that was touted as a really good hitter coming out of the draft. Torkelson was as well, but Green has fit the bill. And even if Green just turns out to be an everyday rotation type of player, Tigers still need that. You got to be able to hit on your picks. And his defense is pretty good, although I would expect they want Riley Green to dive less so he can stay healthy on the field. 95. I'm going to cut it away outside and look. Make it 1-1. See if Riley Green can hang in there and extend this fourth inning for Winsell Perez. Tigers haven't had anything except for a Colt Keith single. Big swing on a cutter inside, not close. Make it 1-2. In off the back foot on the lefty side. And again, for a righty to lefty, you'd think he'd have a hand in this matchup. I don't think so against Corbin Burns. He offered. Curveball's going to get him. And Riley Green looked miserable there. Corbin Burns continues to roll. Let's go to the fifth.
The excellence of driving is matched by the excellence of the dealership experience. Exceptionally by design. GM employees and partners eligible to get the sports car mileage lease on its 2024 East Invest convertible to 39.
Well, I'm excited to close this one out. A hard crowd there. Flash of the leather, he's all over it. No, wait, can't seem to get a handle. Still in play. Got it. Got it. Well, now he's just fine.
I can't believe Little Caesars has free delivery this week and there's no catch.
Wait, but that's what we do. We catch. I catch football.
I catch racing strangers.
I'll take a slice.
I catch big old fish.
Guys, it's free delivery. Meaning it's actually free, so there's no catch.
Get me off this wall! Get me delivered from Little Caesars with free delivery for any time.
Pizza.
Today's fifth inning is presented by Energizer. Ty Madden getting ready to face. Baltimore Orioles in the fifth inning. They got a 1-0 lead.
Ty Madden's going to get things going again here in the fifth. It'll be 7-8-9. Bottom of the order here for Brandon Hyde's squad. Baltimore Orioles got a 1-0 lead. A Gunnar Henderson double. Cedric Mullins puts him in. Henderson and Mullins have stolen base as well. Have a couple of the hits as Rivera will follow it straight back. We'll make it 1-1. So Emmanuel Rivera, Livan, Soto, James McCann. This bottom of the order looks completely different from yesterday because Jackson Holiday was 9. You had Kobe Mayo at 8. And you had a mix for Eloy Jimenez, as this one was way out of the crouch off the slider. Make it 2-1. That missed badly. As we're underway to the top 5. John here with you on the call. It's the Tigers and the O's. The reason why I'm doing this home time assignment, well, you already know that, because they're 2.5 back of the wild card. Depending on what happens today, I'm assuming the Twins would win and the Tigers would lose and put them back to 3.5. You never know, because yesterday surprised you. But however, Tigers are still in this thing, but it would be pretty ironic if you flip-flop 1-0 results. But that's where we are right now. Full 3-1 pitch, and that'll be an easy walk for Rivera on a high and tight pitch, not close. And that will be Livan Soto due up next. So 2.43 for the Tigers ERA since August 11th. Best 30-game span, July-August 2013, 2.35. Most used pitchers in that span were Verlander, Sanchez, and Pfister. Right now it's Skubal, Montero, and Brian Herder. So completely different. Skubal's in the same regard. Let's not kid ourselves there. But for everybody else, it's been bullpen by committee. Bullpen days, 3 of 5. And, I mean, come on now. Rick Porcello, Anibal Sanchez, Doug Pfister, Scherzer, Verlander. Completely different rotation. Sean Gunther now starting to get warm up for the Tigers. 0-1 against Soto. Good block from Rogers in the dirt. Make sure that Rivera stays right where he is. 1-1. So Tigers will be ranked since August 11th. They're 21-9 is their record first. Starter ERA 3.18 fourth. Bullpen ERA 1.90 first. And the runs per game tied for fifth. That is excellent, excellent stuff. Soto going to give this one a ride, just shy of the warning track for Parker Meadows. He makes the catch, make the toss, and Rivera going to go right back where he is. As Madden's 62 pitches upcoming into his day. Runs per game given up in the, I believe in the bullpen side is 477. And honestly, I don't think it's that high. Might be runs per game scored, 477 tied for fifth. Runs per game scored tied for fifth. Over the bullpen ranks about first. So that's the clarification I want to make sure I got across. Red Sox do salvage one game. They got one more upcoming in the Yankees-Red Sox split. I did that game on Thursday to open the series. They have one more Sunday. It'll be the fourth and final meeting in that series and the final season series meeting period for the Blood Rivals. Former Tiger James McCann, before we go the third time through the order, top five. Rivera at first, one out, top five, and Madden still out there. As this is a slider at 84 down in the dirt. McCann has got a face shield on. Don't want to break that nose or get anything else in. I think he was dealing with some. That's why he just came back. Took a pitch right to the face and it was bleeding everywhere. That's why he's got that shield on. 1-0. Kind of wonder how that feels to hit because I'm not going to say it looks like Rip Hamilton, the former Piston with the mask and everything else across, or it was fogging up while you're playing basketball, but that does look very uncomfortable, almost like it's molded to his face. 2-0. Good for James. Got good hitters count leverage. That's a very good pitch for Ty Madden. A sinker inside on the black toward the knees. Make it 2-1. As Ty tries to work his way back in the count. 2-1. As the pitch clock down to 5, Madden gets a sign from Rogers. They set up a little bit low on a splitter, and Madden will get another strike. And they're showing the flashback now. Rodriguez of the Blue Jays clipped. Oh my goodness! As McCann was turning away on July 29th, he got destroyed on the right side of his face. He got hit hard. And Alex Avila didn't mean to laugh, but he's like, it's the life of the catcher. But anyone knows that Alex Avila does for the Tigers. Seen him get hit one time in the face and sparks came off his mask. That is no joke. As they show James McCann, it looked like he got caught in a boxing match, giving his interview, still being just a boss enough to be able to get that one done and laughing about it. He looked like he took some punches or got stung by a beehive. 2-2. This one sent back. Again, you always root for one of the former Tigers. Did not have the home run numbers that he did alongside the Chicago White Sox with Detroit, but 2014 through 18 of the Tigers, 240, 40 home runs, 177 RBI. He was a second-round pick, 2011 for Detroit. 2-2. Ooh, that is a knuckle curve. That was pretty close. I thought he was going to buckle McCann there, but a good take, as that was just about a baseball and a half width outside. Make it 3-2. Don't know if Rivera is going to want to go with the pitch here to try to stay out of a double plays. The Tigers crowd gets a little loud. Good crowd on hand. In toward the hands. Rogers discards the mask. It's going to be Torkelson that makes the catch. 2 steps into foul territory. So 2 outs. Gunnar Henderson, he has been dangerous all day. Cedric Mullins has been good all day. It's a walk and a double right now for Gunnar Henderson. I guess thankfully for Detroit, only Rivera is on first. A.J. Hinch coming out to the mound. Is that it and that's all for Ty? Seems like that's going to be the case. He should get a good hand from this crowd. They'll depart, and they'll go back to Gunther here. Try to get Henderson out as the final out in the top 5. Come right back. So Sean Gunther is going to come in with 2 outs in the fifth. Ty Madden did a pretty good job. He only gave up the 1 run. Cedric Mullins off the double that scored Henderson. Baltimore still got a 1-0 lead. Sean Gunther try to get the last out before the Tigers will turn it over. Again, as we talked about, this was the final score of last night's game. It would be pretty bitter pill to swallow for Detroit if they returned it in that same favor. But that's where we're sitting right now. Gunnar Henderson, stolen base, walk, double. He's been all over the score sheet right now, and he is a superstar. I mean, I don't want to throw that word out there lightly, but he's only 23. I mean, he really does do everything. So Gunnar Henderson has been a thorn in the Tigers' side today. Walk, double, stolen base. Sean Gunther, 10 games, 11 innings, 0.82 ERA. Bingo. 14.6, 2.4 walk, and an OPS of 302 is about as dirty as it gets. That is elite numbers in limited innings here for Gunther. So quite a start to his career in a Tigers uniform. Here is 89 on a sinker that close. And Henderson going to work his way back into a hitter's count again at 2-1. I think tomorrow's projected starters are to be Povich and Kiter Montero for the Tigers. That is a giant swing on a slider at 80. He was out ahead, but it's 2-2. Gunther now trying to close the door. Ty Madden did a good job. Bo Brisky did his job to start the game. Tigers can keep it right here. They'll still give themselves a shot. Corbin Burns, the only problem is probably going at least 2-3 more innings because the O's need this one big time because they want to keep pace in the AL East. Ground ball. Keith. Toss over and short way. The Sweeney. And Henderson is out for the first time today. Gunther does his job. Winsell Perez, Torkelson, and Young. Bottom 5 upcoming.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts. It was under control. Inflation. Gas. And housing. Home prices stocks, even CNN admits.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says Bidenomics is working. No, it isn't. I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
If you led the Lions to their first playoff win in more than 3 decades, fans chanting your name everywhere, it's something you never have experienced before. What other fans know that?
Good set for the bottom 5 in the moment. I'm just trying to save the pipes, and then we will still give you some post-game coverage at Hopeless Sports Guy with the game story and the audio recorded on this with none of the extra filler between the outside. So looking forward to the rest of this game. I'm glad the Tigers are still in striking distance. The O's are a very good baseball team. They've been playing a little bit below 500 lately. Kind of been stuck in that carpool lane, not been able to get over. The AL East has kind of been bunched up. They're still playing for something because they want to get out of the wild card and put the Yankees in that part of it. But really, the Yankees and the O's have kind of been 500 subpar around there, and nobody can really kind of gain leverage. Tigers have been playing very well lately, primarily because their pitching is held up. Have not scored a lot of runs here and there in some of these games. You had a couple explosions against the Rockies in an inning where you had 6-7 runs, something like that for the most part. If the Tigers could score more runs and they didn't have Javi Baez for about 20 of those games, probably would be in a playoff spot right now. That's just being honest. So Winsell Perez getting set to lead off in this bottom 5, 1-0. Couple curveballs way down low. And Perez does not think about offering in any of that as they're showing the Tigers giveaway. I think they're giving a Tigers branded Lion shirt tomorrow. And again, the Tigers game was moved up because I think it was a 1:30 start. They're going to start at noon because the Lions are playing Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks. So maybe you can kind of swing both in one day. It's going to be very busy downtown in Detroit tomorrow, but it'll be fun for those that are going. Perez, 3-0. Courtesy take on a cutter right down the middle, make it 3-1. Unsell Perez definitely has some power, and he can make it look pretty good here. Corbin Burns, pitch number 62, 95. Good location on a cutter. That one a little more towards the black. So that first 95 cutter right down the middle, Perez really should have offered at it. Just have to say it that way. 5, 6, and 7 due up in this bottom 5. This is right towards second base. No problem there for Soto able to make that toss over. Livan Soto able to get the first out here for Baltimore. And we'll leave it up to Spencer Torkelson and then Jace Young. I'm wondering where the hits are going to come from tonight. And I only say that because Corbin Burns is 63 pitches in. You feel like he'll go at least 7, and you could turn it over to Gregory Soto and Craig Kimbrell, and that's it, and that's all. Torkelson cut on a slider outside the zone, down and away, make it 0-1. I think for what Corbin Burns can do, again, all of his pitches with run, as we talked about, the 5 that he features, not even a straight 4-seam. He doesn't throw that. That Torkelson's going to have to really hang in there, because this is the type of guy that reaches outside the zone that Corbin Burns can absolutely eat for lunch. I have to say it that way. 1-1. As the pitch clock down to 5, get the sign from McCann, and a half-hearted offer there for Torkelson. Very uncomfortable at bats here for Spencer against Corbin Burns, which should not be a surprise considering the whip, ERA, that type of deal. You can be within the top 5, top 10 for Corbin Burns at any given time, an absolute ace of any staff. That is why Baltimore brought him over in the offseason. 1-2, trying to put Torque away here. He'll do so very easily. Slider way outside the zone. Miserable swing there. And Torque's going to have to go back and grab some pine. Jace Young will be up next. Jace Young worked the walk his last time up. And the way that Torkelson has played, it's not just Corbin Burns, but the way that he's been playing lately, he's starting to look back like the old Spencer Torkelson again after about a couple weeks that are hot. And then it just really puts pressure on you. Like, they don't have Bly Madris anymore. They had a good pickup there alongside Houston. They need someone else at first that's going to be able to provide some hitting, because the defense for Torkelson is also a little bit average. Jace Young, a dot on a cutter toward the right and below the belt, and 1-1. So Young has a walk in this game so far as Corbin Burns is cruising. 70 pitches through 4 2/3, and now a grain cut on a cutter inside that stuffed them all up. Make it 1-2. He is absolutely dealing right now. He is locked into this game, and you can see what an ace can do. I know there's a lot of young kids, but Corbin Burns is a master at his craft, no doubt about it. See you later. Golf swing there, and Jace Young punches out. Corbin Burns is rolling. Let's go to the 6th. Still 1-0. O's.
Nothing scary about any ball girls movement gear. The #1 longest lasting double back.
The versatile Toyota RAV4 is ready for anything on or off the road.
This RAV4 is a high-grade vehicle, so you can take your adventures even further.
Check out all the cargo space.
That's what you call room with a view.
Now you can get a new 24 RAV4 and get low 4.99 APR financing.
Or lease a RAV4 from $339 a month with 2 years no cost maintenance.
Book your room now. Toyota. Let's go places.
As a professional athlete, my physical and mental strength was challenged many times. But my biggest challenge came after baseball when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Studies show that exercising 2.5 hours per week can help manage Parkinson's symptoms and slow the progression of the disease. Because when fighting Parkinson's, movement matters. So donate to KirkGibsonFoundation.org.
Stream Tigers baseball throughout the season. Valley Sports app, presented by Miller Lite. Gunther came on to hit.
Quick moving game so far. Not a lot of offense. 1-0. It's been the way it's been through both the games I've covered so far. And now Cedric Mullins hits this one back of the box. Pass to diving Colt Keith. And now Cedric Mullins has already reached base again. It's just been like Gunnar Henderson. Top two part of the order here for Brendan Hine's squad's done most of the damage. Able to get on base and cause some problems. And now you got the stolen base threat, as we talked about with Cedric and then Anthony Santander, who I really do think is due. I think he's going to get a home run right here. I'm going to go ahead and call it. 0-2 with a ground to a double play and a ground out. Santander, what a diving play! Trying to get the toss from his knees, but he's safe. Toward the third base side for Jace Young. So he made an effort, and as he got a piece of it with the glove, he tried to get the toss over. That was kind of like lobbing in a hand grenade. Santander had enough speed, didn't have enough to get that one over all the way across the diamond. Still a great effort from the youngster here. Made sure that Mullins could only go to second. And we'll see if Adley Rutschman, who's had a tough day, can find a way to come through. The Orioles need to get some extra runs. Gunther has been near unhittable on the side for his limited innings, but really feel like they have to come through here, and I feel like they're going to. 0-1, run expectancy this inning about a run and a half, so that's what you would think with two runners on and nobody out in top six. And Rutschman is up against it, 0-2, 90 on a sinker. John, you're with you downtown Detroit, Comerica Park. Kenta Maeda now starting to get loose. Ricky Canasco. 0-2. Ricky Vanasco, I saw him for an inning and a third the last Tigers game that we covered. And he looked all right from what we saw. Kenta Maeda, I know what he is. Kenta's better as a bullpen in the late side now. But this is a tight game. 0-2. Rutschman hits it very hard, hooks it foul. It had the distance, but it stays a 1-0 game. That was hit very, very hard. That just would have crossed the 342 sign in left field near the Little Caesars Pizza. So 0-2 on a hanging slider. Gunther still trying to dig in. Colton Cowser would be next. You got two ducks on the pond here for the O's with nobody out. Cedric at second. Backdoor splitter. And he could not frame it to Jake Rogers. That was not close enough to frame, but he'd still try to do that against Lance Barksdale. Because if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Just ask AJ Hinch. That's why he's here. But I digress. 1-2. Inside on a four-seam at 90. And this one stays right where it is at 2-2. So outside, inside. Trying to make Rutschman a little bit uncomfortable. But catcher still knows the strike zone very well. He's a DH today. Gunther, 2-2. This one is fouled way out. He reached for a splitter there that was not close in the zone low. Colton Cowser, the left fielder batting left, would be next. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4 with 2 tanks. The Phillies were down 4-0. They came back and got the win today. Gunther taking an extra beat. Gets the sign from Rogers. He needs a ground ball. He is going to get a ground ball. Soft toss. Double play for the Tigers. Badly when they needed it. They got one in the first. They get one now in the top of the 6th. Still 2 outs. Again, as I've said before, there is work to do. But Adley Rutschman, for the second time in this game, has grounded into a double play. The Tigers will take it. At least try to limit the damage to either nothing or 1 at this point. Second game this season with 3 grounded into double plays. Hasn't happened since May 11th since the Diamondbacks. Something about those snakes. Who knows? Cowser off of a lefty here for Gunther. 1-0. That was a slider way outside. Colt Keith's defense has gotten a lot better. Maybe some of those have been easier, but I do think that's a good profile they're showing on Valley Sports Detroit with the camera feed. 1-0. Good cut on a sinker, but he was late. Was Colton. That was right down the middle. Make it 1-1. I'll give you a scoring update for the Twins and the Reds when it becomes available. I think that just got underway on a 7:10 start. Check swing. This one, slow roller. Colt Keith, no problem. Double play and a ground out. Tigers don't surrender anything, but they need runs. Let's go to the bottom six. Sweeney, Rogers, Meadows. So this is the pertinent score in the AL Central, but more so for the wild card than anything else. Top three, Reds at the bat rack with no outs. Twins have a 1-0 lead. Let's see how they got it. Byron Buxton on an infield single ended up getting an RBI against Nick Martinez. Two innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, strikeout. Simeon Woods Richardson with a hit and a strikeout in 2 innings for the Twins. Excuse me. Hiccups here. Noelvi Marte, he was a former Seattle Mariners product. He's still part of the Marte brothers, and Starling, Cattell, and now Noelvi. He is batting for the Reds. Boy, oh boy. Hiccups were kicking my butt. I think we're good, though. The one thing with the play-by-play that I've always heard is if you keep yourself talking, that kind of undoes the hiccups from what they say. That's what they always say with the play-by-plays, and undoes the hiccups. So 0-1 is the count. Trey Sweeney, 8-9-1. Sweeney, Rogers, Meadows. Corbin Burns back out there, trying to get through 6 clean innings. He has been dominant. Big swing on a cutter, that not in the zone. The amount of chases that he's been able to get has been big. But again, as much as AJ Hinch, I imagine he would want to say something, or I'm thinking about it. I understand the Tigers wanting to ambush a little bit because if you get behind Corbin Burns, it's just going to make you look silly anyway. You got to find pitches to hit, but I think that's easier said than done. I just have to say it that way. 1-2. He's working quickly here, trying to dispatch Trey Sweeney, former Dodgers prospect, and he'll do just that. Curveball, not close. Corbin Burns is absolutely on a roll right now. He gets another strikeout. I think he struck out 4 of the last 6 batters for 6 strikeouts on the day. That curveball just disappeared from the plate. That had tremendous movement. And Corbin Burns is absolutely killing it right now with no run support. He's only got 1, courtesy of Cedric Mullins. Jake Rogers. And he's going to start it off on the right foot again. 0-1 on a slider that was down and away. Again, nothing straight. We talked about that. Lots of movement, up and down, left to right, change of velocity. 93. This one on a cutter, and it's quickly 0-2. And this bottom of the 6th might end as fast as the top of the 6th began. My goodness, the way that this has been going. It's been awesome to watch Corbin Burns pitch. And I can say that as a bitter rival there on this side because I want the Tigers to win. This one, O'Hearn, he'll make the catch. He had to just track it there. He didn't have to move too far from first, making sure he didn't lose it in the lights or the half sun, because I know the sun's probably already gone down at Comerica Park. They got the lights going on about 7:45 Eastern local time. Parker Meadows looks like he'll be the last hope in the sixth in this fast-moving ball game. Only been an hour and 36 minutes, and I could swear that I started the game on time. So we've kind of run right through. First time 209, second time 234, third time 277. So no problem for Corbin Burns first, second, and third time through the lineup. It's miserable averages across the board nonetheless, and that's what an ace can do. 1-0. Parker Meadows. For a good eye there. Again, as we said, you just got to try to find leverage any way that you can. I think that's the only hope here. With Parker Meadows, I'm just going to swing on a 2-0. I'm just going to have to say it. Take a look. 93. This is an outside cutter, but it finds the box. 2-1. 82 pitches here for Corbin Burns. So I think he's got one more inning at least in him in the gasoline tank. 89 and a changeup make it 3-1. Colt Keith would be next if Parker Meadows reaches. Parker Meadows would at least have one more at bat, and you got to know what that means considering the last few times you've done the broadcast. 3-1. This will be jammed right to O'Hearn. Soft toss over to Burns. Tigers go very quietly. Still 1-0. We'll go to the seventh. 1 run, 5 hits. O's. They made a hold up. Tigers have just 1 hit, courtesy of Colt Keith.
This is a 24/7 kind of place, and that's where the Ford Escape SUV comes in. The ultimate getaway vehicle with available driver assist technologies like collision assist with automatic emergency braking and Flex blind spot information system with cross traffic alert to help get away from it all. You got this with Ford Escape. Easy Fine Trading customers can lease a 2024 Escape for $279 a month for 24 months at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today. It's Jimmy John's new Mediterranean wraps made with soft, roasted feta cheese, so you can enjoy fresh summer flavors with every bite. Hey, Clouds, beat it. Much better. Now at Jimmy John's.
For 175 years, Comerica has thrived through every rise and fall. We've lived through triumphs and turmoil, witnessed every advance, and survived every setback. Through surety and uncertainty, America has stood the test of time by standing by our beliefs, our values, and our customers. Comerica.
So on the ESPN box, a little bit ahead of my TV feed here, Kenta Maeda was warming for AJ Hinch. It looks like Kenta is in. And for Brandon Hyde's squad for the Baltimore Orioles, we'll scroll back up in the notes here. It'll be Ryan O'Hearn, Emmanuel Rivera, and Livan Soto, 6, 7, and 8. So one of the main reasons why this game is still 1-0 Orioles is because the Tigers have turned 3 double plays, Adley Rutschman in 2 of them. Kenta Maeda is the new reliever out of the bullpen. 26 games, he started as a starter, 103 innings, 5.92 ERA, which is very high, but he's been much better out of the bullpen for Detroit. That's not to say, granted, he won't give up a couple of runs here, but he's found his role, and he's still signed for 1 more year alongside Scott Harris and company and Chris Ilitch. So I figure this will probably be his new role even going into next year. And then we'll see if the Tigers bring up Jackson Jobe. That's an arm that we've been hearing about for a long time. Half-heart look for O'Hearn, and he did not go on a splitter at 86. That splitter looked pretty good. It looked like O'Hearn might go. I was way out of the zone nonetheless, but he just held up in time. Make it 1-2. This next run could be very massive depending on where it is. I guess it doesn't matter. I should reframe that. This next run is probably the biggest run. Again, 1 was all we had yesterday. It was Kerry Carpenter. Second batter of the game for Detroit with a solo bomb against Zach Eflin. And then Gunnar Henderson got driven in by Cedric Mullins. That's the only RBI that we have in this game. And that was, I'll scroll back down again here, in the third inning. And it's still 1-0 as we go top 7 with no outs so far. John, I'll be with you on the call. Thank you for joining me here today. It's been a good one. The last couple games I have, it's been low run scoring. The last one was 2-1 Yankees when Gleyber Torres getting the party started alongside Danny Jansen, and then a walk-off for Soto. So Kenta Maeda gets the dust of Ryan O'Hearn as he strikes out on a splitter. That one just dropped all the way off the table, and O'Hearn offered at it nonetheless. So good start for Kenta. Again for Emmanuel Rivera and Livan Soto. Livan Soto will be in the 8th hole. Just 8 career games played, just 4 at-bats coming into it. I wouldn't say Rivera and Soto have the power swings, so Maeda should be okay here if he pitches the contact as he does. And even for James McCann at 9 with that full face shield, only has 5 tinks so far this year. So bottom part of the order, just like yesterday for the O's, I don't think is very threatening. Tigers still have Matt Bierling and Zach McKinstry off the bench. Kind of wonder if they're going to go to that side of it too, because you need to get Matt Bierling into this game if it's still close, because he's one of the guys that can get a hit for Detroit. So Kenta Maeda, he is trying to be in full relief of the 7th. The Tigers need to keep the scoreline right where it is. 0-2. Splitter. This one not close. Make it 1-2. 10 pitches in his day. And Kenta Maeda, again, the former Minnesota Twin. I think he had some time with the Dodgers as well. He's been an all-star for a long time. Again, he's getting very late in his career. He had a lot of injuries with the Twins, but when he was right, Kenta Maeda was very good. It's still a good splitter, however, as that one pounded off the inside, and Rivera can only follow it straight back. I think we only had one question that was grabbed on the vote side. I said the Tigers 2.5 back. I think are they going to make the playoffs? The one vote says yes. The Braves have taken a 1-0 lead on the Dodgers. They need wins to try to get in the NL wild card. Sweeper at 83, and Rivera does not offer. That was not close enough to even swing at nonetheless. About 5 minutes or so away from 8 o'clock Eastern time as we are well into this game now in the 7th inning. That hit him right in on the elbow guard. And Rivera is going to take first base. That was pinched in a little too tight. Hit him right on the elbow guard. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So he'll take the chance in the left elbow. And now Livan Soto. If the Orioles hit into another double play, that'll be their 4th of this game. Maeda needs one right now. The command has been good for him out of the bullpen, and the power really is not a threat. So if you can find a good located fastball, splitter, changeup, you might find another double play turn here. We'll have to see. But Soto isn't someone I'd be overly concerned about right now because we don't know enough about him. 85, base hit. This is not good news right now for Detroit. Rivera try to get this one to third. Soto gets in a second. He's understandably very excited. And for Tigers fans, they're going to be very worried right now. That was a good pitch off the plate on a splitter. And Soto went down to go ahead and get the bat head on it and spray that one to Kerry Carpenter and to play it off a roll. And it was an easy chance for him to get into second. That's a big hit right now for Baltimore. In Detroit's game, as far as their runs, it might be on life support here. Kenta Maeda has got to close the door here. James McCann in the full face guard mask. It would be apropos if he was the one that got the job done. Good block for Jake. That could have been a wild pitch that could have scored a run. 1-0. So this is unfortunately the side of Kenta Maeda that I seen starting. You cannot have that in this game. I don't want to say he can't pitch because you need help out of that bullpen, but these games are too important to lose because if Tigers lose and Twins win, and it's back to 3.5. This goes to a splitter inside, followed down the third baseline. 1-1. The Valley Bar is only showing one score in Minnesota and Cincinnati, and the Twins still have a 1-0 lead as they go to the bottom 3. We'll keep you updated on the rest of it. Kenta. They're going to need to get this out at home. They can't allow to have the run score anyway. Big swing for McCann. 1-2 early on a sweeper. This does mean that the strikeout is now open, and Maeda's got a few pitches to play with. It looks like a pretty damn big crowd here at Comerica Park with these seats pretty jacked. This is about as full as I've seen Comerica Park in a long time. 1-2 pitch. McCann. This is a line drive. This is going to score a run, and that is absolutely big at this point in this game. Kenta Maeda gives up a run. You do get the line out. James McCann does his job. And with a 2-0 lead right now for Baltimore, this could be game. You never know here. But the way that this game is going right now with Corbin Burnes on the mound, and considering Baltimore needs this one, I find it hard to believe that Brandon Hyde doesn't take him at least 8 innings now at this point. Solid 7, no doubt, to go from Soto and Kimbrel. But it's just, that's a huge run. And now Gunnar Henderson, who has been a real pain in this game. 81. Wow, gets the call on a sweeper. My goodness. Jake Rogers must have had an A+ frame on that one because that was not close. 0-1. This Gunnar Henderson waits on it. Spiked in the dirt on a splitter. Make it 1-1. Kenta Maeda's got to shut off the water faucet here. He's already given up 1. It cannot be any more right now if the Tigers want to still have a shot in this game. 1-1 is the count leverage. Gunnar Henderson has been all over it today. Oh, man! Gunnar Henderson! It's gone! Big home run for the O's. And that might be it for Maeda. 4-1. That was blasted down the right field line, and that was a no-doubt shot. Absolutely crushed, and it stayed fair, and the O's get the big hit that they've been waiting for, and the Tigers are on life support right now. And even for their playoff hopes, even if it only falls to 3.5, that's going to be an absolute killer because yesterday you could have scored a few more runs, but you hung a breaking ball to the wrong guy there. And he's done some of that this year. I mean, he's been better out of the bullpen. I try to say the nice things when I can, but it's very difficult to continue to ask these guys to do what they're doing in the bullpen and putting up zeros all over the place. And when you're in a playoff chase, Cedric Mullins hits this one foul across the right side wall. He was giving that a ride in the same spot. But the point is, when you're in the middle of a playoff chase here and it's tough and you're playing a game with the close run scoring, can you afford to go ahead and have Kenta Maeda eat up innings? I think the answer is no. You just can't. But again, it's unfair to ask everyone else in the bullpen to go ahead and continue to do their job because they're exhausted. I mean, it's been 3 bullpen days of the last 5 over the last month and a half. Mullins, 1-2. So Gunnar Henderson, home runs by shortstops. Henderson with 37, Miguel Tejada 34, Cal Ripken Jr. 34. That is Hall of Famer, borderline, and Gunnar Henderson's probably going to be a Hall of Famer if we project that he stays healthy. He's incredible. That is an illustrious list. So the Orioles with the big blow here. Gunnar Henderson 2-run shot. Cedric pops it up. Rogers right into the night sky, discards the mask, makes the catch. The damage is done. The O's score 3. Gunnar Henderson 2-run tank. It's 4-0 Birds. So I'll give you a scoring update. I know it's been a while on the YouTube side, but I apologize, folks. We haven't had any scoring really up until that third inning. Gunnar Henderson, runs scored, but now 2-run shot for Gunnar. McCann got a line-out RBI, 3 runs score in that seventh, and that was a disaster for Kenta Maeda. Give up 1 run would have been fine, but the extra 2 right there, that's really difficult right now. And I don't know if Detroit's going to be able to come through with this now. They need an answer. If I'm Brandon Hyde, there is no way that I am not keeping Corbin Burns out, at least for this seventh, and then go to the bullpen. I might even consider, honestly, at this point, play at the plate. We're getting this according to the Valley Bar. Play at the plate. The Reds get turned away, and it's still 1-0 top 4. Man, oh man. Keep you updated if we get any more Twins updates. So the Orioles with some fireworks in the seventh. Not good news for Detroit. Cole Keith, the only hit of the day for the Tigers. Swing and a miss on a cutter. Same old song and dance, a little Aerosmith right now for Corbin Burns. He loves the beat of the rock and roll music because he's killing it right now. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 hit. That's all he's given up. A couple walks. Colt Keith, change up, 1-2. So where is it going to come from Detroit? Because Gunnar Henderson with the latest 2-run shot and a McCann RBI lineout makes it 4-0 Birds here. Orioles in a good spot to even this series up. Colt Keith got 1 nutmegged. James McCann, as we stay 1-2. Keith got a piece of it. So it will be Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green ready to go here in the bottom 7th after this against Corbin Burns. That pitch number 88. So at least he's going to be able to finish with 7. I would think at least 7 strong. Might be the maximum of where he goes, but an electric inning for him. Colt Keith 95. This one. Can of corn is going to drop. Colt Keith's got both base hits right now for Detroit. Keep it going, young sir, because they need more. So Colt Keith gets on base for the second time. And Kerry Carpenter, we need a little Kerry Bonds here, the Detroit fans, as he's affectionately called. I love the nickname. I'm going with it. I know he's not Barry Bonds, but come on. I'm going to take what I can get at this point. Colt Keith, nice leverage swing. He doesn't try to do too much with the baseball. That's exactly what you want to teach these young hitters. Just make contact and put it where the defenders aren't. I know that sounds easy and it sounds nice when it works out that way, but Colt Keith doesn't get too big. Spencer Torkelson does. Kerry Carpenter, 88. Change it. This one outside, not close, making 1-0. John Eder with you at Comerica Park, downtown Detroit. Got the Valley Sports Detroit feed. Thank you for joining me on the Twitter X Space and the YouTube side. We've got people jumping in and out. As the night sky is full in Detroit, next to the Chevy Mount. 1-0. Carpenter will loft the swing. This is not that deep, about 380 feet. And Colt Keith. Go back to first as Cedric Mullins makes the routine catch. And Riley Green will be up next alongside Winsell Perez unless Green hits into a DP. There's been a lot of those right now for the Orioles in this game, and that's why they only have 4 runs. Honestly, they could probably have about 7 where this game is going. And I said that going in, watching the game on TV yesterday, I'm going to be the one that gets all the runs during the broadcast because the O's lost a 1-0 game. You knew it was going to go that way. You just knew that. Riley Green. Here is a turnaround for Soto. Nice play deep in the hole. At second, able to get this one to O'Hearn. It will move Keith to second, but it's 2 outs, bottom 7. And Winsell Perez will get an opportunity here before we get a chance to go stretch. So Winsell Perez trying to come through here for Detroit. It's important that they get on the board after surrendering 3 in the top half of the 7th. If they don't here, you're going to get to the rest of the bullpen. It might be lock and key. So Perez, this is a good block for McCann. Keep Keith right where he is. 2 ground outs. Runners in scoring position, 275 for Winsell, 844 OPS. 93 pitches for Corbin Burns, because he's got 5 seconds to go on that pitch clock. 88 on a changeup. So Winsell trying to work his way on 2-0 count. I've enjoyed this game nonetheless. It's not very often, folks, you get 3 baseball games in 1 week, but it's been playoff chase, and I've really enjoyed it. We'll walk back in like I do with the hockey side. Baseball is fun. 2-0. And again, Winsell. This is what I'll say. This is the second time. I think it was last in the 5th. He had a cutter right down the middle. That one he had a cutter high middle. You can't take when you get those pitches. You've got to swing because you're going to get something nasty and you're going to chase. 2-1, 95. Much better location there. 2-2. The middle cutter, again, Dan Dickerson. I'm glad he said it because it makes me sound smart. You just got to swing, especially with a pitcher like this. 2-2. He's got him in the rocking chair. Keith at second. Tenuous lead. Winsell. Curveball. Does not even have to think about offering there. Full count. Runner will not be off at the pitch because it's still just Keith at second. He needs some more base runners here. Tigers want to spread to Spencer Torkelson, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you move Matt Bierling or Zach McKinstry. Full count. Perez. Strike 3, right on the black. See you later. Perfect pitch for Corbin Burns. He continues to put the Tigers through the carousel. And now we go to the 8th. 4-0. O's.
This is you, and this is your first hunch of the season. It's parlay time with FanDuel, a 3-week free trial of NFL.
Be right back, and then we'll call the 8th.
I take the over, and you can easily opt for whichever one speaks to you. And make every moment more. New customers get $5, get $200 in bonus bets. Plus, every customer gets a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV, only from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Tonight's Chevy's strongest player will be tomorrow's starter. That means Kaden Montero. We'll see what he has for an encore performance after what he did last time out against Colorado Rockies, where he pulled the old Maddox. The complete game and under 100 pitches. So phenomenal effort last time out for Montero. And we're standing out here by the Tigers bullpen, guys. As we know, obviously the Tigers have been going through multiple arms in multiple games, but tomorrow they're going to lean on Montero. I don't know if AJ Hinch is coming out here going 9 innings necessarily again, but certainly Montero is another one of those guys, one of those young arms that continues to put forth the effort, continues to make the adjustments, and he's got himself, he's one of the viable arms behind Terrence Sewell that these guys rely on.
That was so impressive, Johnny. Before he joined the Tigers, he had not gone into this pitch in the 7th inning in his professional career. Now he's pitched 7 innings and 9 innings. And to face the minimum 27 batters, I just thought that was so cool. It's not that this doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, first time since Verlander, right?
And 5 times in team history.
That's remarkable, really. And as you talk with him today, being the S&T race, talking about one of his heroes growing up, being Felix Hernandez. He had never met him before, and I said, heck, you can pitching like this, you won't have to.
So as we get to top 8, I just had to step away for a second there. I apologize. Santander punched out, and Adley Rutschman will be going up against here as Maeda's going to get his second inning of work. Right now, this might just be mop-up duty here, and I think that's probably smart on AJ Hinch's side because you have to make sure everybody else is ready to go tomorrow to try to win the series this weekend. So if you can't win this one, you got to make sure everybody is fresh for tomorrow, just in case Carter Montero comes off of his 9-inning shutout and struggles a little bit against Baltimore. That was a curveball. It was not even close. Make it 1-1 as Adley Rutschman. He's had a rough day. He's into a couple of double plays here, 0 for 3. That probably means that he's due. Don't want to say to wake him up for Detroit, but don't often see that as he gets a chance for the DH today, not the catcher. 85 gets a friendly call on a split. I guess we got dinner reservations here. 8:14 left to go on the eastern side. I guess that might make sense. 1-2 is the count. So Santander punched out, and Rutschman's up against it right now, top 8. This one, back foot splitter. That one just dive bombed and it fell right out of the hands. So one more reminder from me. Gates open at 10:30 a.m. Comerica Park and Ford Field. So they moved up the Tigers game to noon in the 1:30 side for the Lions. It is going to be packed tomorrow downtown in Detroit. So just note that the Tigers game, instead of about 1:30, that's at noon. And the Lions game will start around 1:30 against the Tampa Bay Bucks. He's got a lot of Lions jerseys, got a lot of Tigers jerseys, some O's fans. It's pretty packed here right now at Comerica, but it's going to be bedlam tomorrow in downtown Detroit. So just be forewarned if you're making your trip down there. Full count. Tigers were 2.5 back entering today, but if Twins win, Tigers will be right back where they were yesterday with 3.5. 85. Walk. So Rutschman finally gets something positive on his scorecard. The Reds have tied it up against Minnesota. If Tigers don't win and the Twins lose to the Reds, they can stay at 2.5. Mariners would have an opportunity to gain a game, but that would be exactly what the Tigers need right now. Tigers do have the tiebreak over the M's. They do not have the tiebreak over the Twins. Big swing as this goes straight back from Colton from Kenta Maeda. Make it 0-1. So again, the game Sunday. Monday will be KC. They'll travel to Kaufman. Tuesday, I might consider doing the game Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even an M's game. I'll be in contact with Cooper because we got to talk tickets as well. Off day Thursday before you go back to the O's again, and then the rest of it home with Tampa and the Chicago White Sox. So the last 6 games for Detroit looks really good. This stretch of 9 between the O's 6 times and KC 3 times. That's really rough. And the Tigers, I hope that they could go 7-2. They probably need to go 6-3 at worst. Cincinnati is just taking a 3-1 lead now. 3 straight runs for the Reds. So that's good news out of today right now. Again, this game is probably going to end by the time the Reds and Twins, if we're prognosticating the 6th. So we can kind of give you the latest scoring update there. And if my story ends around the same time, I'll give you the scoring update at the end of it. This is going to be another double play. This is the 4th double play for the Tigers in this game. And the score will stay right where it is, 4-0. Tigers are down to their final 6 outs. They need runs. Cole Keith has got the only 2 hits. But the double plays have been turned rather easily. Let's go bottom 8.
Everyone knows it's always a free consultation. And that's why everyone knows 1-800-CALL SAM is the best call you'll ever make after an accident.
Let's do this. Introducing Chevy's best lineup of SUVs ever. The rugged, always-ready Trailblazer. The first ever Traverse Z71. And the Chevy Trax, starting at $29,495. When it's your time to shine, Chevy's got you.
Or GM employees with a free eligible Chevy lease can get this Blazer for around $289 a month. Chevy drives in your city. Together, let's drive.
Jody J asks, about to add an
Can our internet keep up? It can, Jody, but more devices need speedy, faster internet. We engineered Xfinity's network so you can upgrade your speed to keep doing everything you need to do, like working, video chatting, streaming, and slaying zombies, all in the name of science. I've never been to a seance.
Switch to fast, reliable Xfinity Internet for just $30 a month with Wi-Fi equipment. And ask how to get a free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile.
Get Worldside's biggest offer ever. 80 months, no interest. Plus, half off every window we make for a very limited time, only for Worldside.
At the San Bernstein Law Firm, we fight and win for injured people, just like you, every day.
The Sam Bernstein Law Firm, from beginning to end, helped me get the results that I deserve. The Sam Bernstein Law Firm fought for me.
Orioles actually challenged that fourth double play for the Tigers. The challenge failed. The call stands. A nicely turned 4-6-3 double play. Torkelson, you can see the ball hit the pocket of his glove just before the foot of Hauser on the bag.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they had conclusive evidence to be able to overturn that one. That one looks just barely out.
The Orioles kind of took their time to challenge this,
Waiting to the very last minute. Kind of surprised they ended up challenging.
American Bank game summary involves Corbin Burns. What a night. He dominated right from the start, Alex.
Yeah, we talked about earlier in this game. He likes to live on that glove side with that cutter. Into lefties, away to righties. And he was pretty much on point today with this command, especially with that curveball. Got some chases below the zone with that curveball. Was able to beat away with that backdoor cutter as well as some left-handers, even mixed in this changeup. But we can look at the swings and misses today for Corbin Burns. As you see, heavy on the glove side, on that inner half of the plate to lefties, away to righties. That's where he lives. And when he's able to locate down away to righties like that and into lefties, it usually means a tough night for hitters.
Orioles have four lefties in the bullpen, the two main ones that you worry about, AJ Hinch. Keegan Aiken, the Western Michigan product, and the guy who is taking the mound. The Tigers down 4-0 in the eighth. Cianel Perez has been terrific this year.
Yeah, he's been doing it with the.
So Corbin Burns' day is done. We'll bring up Cianel Perez. Corbin Burns, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Absolutely filthy. And this lefty here for Perez is going to go up against Torkelson right now. And he's been very, very good. This pitch very high on a sinker. We'll back Torkelson away, make it 1-0. Tigers down to their final 6 outs. Colt Keith has only 2 hits for the Tigers in this ball game. Torque, this one bleeping off the glove of Gunnar Henderson, and Torkelson's going to reach. Tigers need a lot more of that, however, but they'll take it with the first on in the bottom 8.
Most do not touch that ball. No. Usually it's by you in the outfield before you even think about jumping. He almost makes a fantastic play.
On the ESPN part of my box, Jace Young has been pinched for Andy Ibanez. Try to get that lefty-righty matchup. This is where AJ is going to be able to empty the tank, and Ibanez, thankfully for him, it'll be third base foul. The Reds have scored 5 straight runs in the 4th. They've taken a 5-1 lead on the Twins. Good news for Detroit, especially if they can't come through here. 0-1. Ibanez right on the ground. Easy turn. This is Soto, Henderson, and a double play. A twin killing at an inopportune time for the Tigres, and it's 2 away. Trey Sweeney will be the next hope unless AJ wants to go to the bench. I would think in the 9th, Jake Rogers might get pulled, considering. Right now, I do see Matt Vierling for Trey Sweeney. So they'll burn Vierling now. They burned Ibanez, so they're done. And my goodness gracious, 9-1 now. Cincinnati, 9 straight runs in the 4th inning. The Reds are running a steam engine on the Twins. Holy cow, what a big game this would have been for Detroit. If they would have won this one, they'd be just 1.5 back. But at least they'll get to stay right where they are. Vierling, 96-9-1. Man, oh man. The Twins have been so beat up throughout the year, especially in the back end. It's not the right time. They're not able to get healthy. We'll have to see if the M's or anyone else is in action right now. Vierling, base hit. It's too bad about that twin killing for Ibanez because Torkelson still would have been alive. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. 9 runs on 10 hits. Martinez, 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts. Simeon Wood Richardson got it tattooed. And then they put in Willie Varland, and Varland got tattooed for 6 earned runs. Byron Buxton opened the scoring. Friedel home run to right center. Steer double. India single to right. Marte ground rule double. Ty France infield single. Scored the first run 9-1. All of the runs have been scored in the top of the 4th, and there's still nobody out. How does that even happen? So the Tigers got the break they needed there. They're not winning tonight. So Jake Rogers, because they used Matt Vierling, got a hit. Ibanez into a double play. They canceled out Torkelson. So Rogers is still here against Sinel Perez. This is ground to third. Soft toss over. Rogers is out. Tigers down to their final 3 innings. I think they're going to stay right where they are, 2.5 back, unless they get a miracle. We'll go to the 9th. So let's look at some other scores. So the Tigers got the good news that they needed with the Reds because they are just destroying the Twins right now. The Mariners are in action with the Rangers in about another hour and a half. If we look at the standings right now and go to the wild card, if the Mariners win tonight and go to 76 and 73, they'll be tied with the Tigers. Tigers will be ahead on tiebreak, but the Mariners will just be 2.5 back. So the Twins getting lambasted still opens the door for the Mariners tonight.
Cincinnati has opened up a can on the Minnesota Twins at Target Field. That's a 2-run bomb by TJ Friedel. They scored 9 runs in the 4th inning. That one off Louis Varland. It's been all Cincinnati tonight, and so that bodes well for the Tigers, even if they fail to come back. Hopes remain high, but that might happen here in the 9th inning.
All right, Kings. And they don't score base. Look, no, but they're. That's deflating. Okay, just going to bounce back to the 9th spot in the 4th. That is the advantage.
So as much as you might not want to hear it now, I'm going to say it. AJ Hinch, I think, has made the right move. Shelby Miller has not been good lately, but you don't want to burn all your big pitchers because you want to win the series tomorrow. Tigers do want to try to come back, but now they know that the Reds have a 9 spot in the 4th as they are trolling the Twins right now. The Mariners have an opportunity to win today to be just 2.5 back, so that could be big. Diving stop for Keith. He's had a whale of a game as he gets the out. A couple singles. Beautiful play there. As that dispatches O'Hearn. Colt Keith has been on one today. Good work. So good work there as Miller, his second pitch, already gets it out and delivered. Andy Ibanez, his fourth game of his career at short. Matt Vierling at third, as they've had some defensive replacements because of the pinch hits. Livan Soto with a big swing. His double ended up scoring part of the runs before Gunnar Henderson deposited a 2-run jam. That's why we sit at 4-0. Tigers technically in striking distance still, but I don't think it's going to be possible. However, they won't fall back in the wild card spot today. Soto, right to Meadows. Line out here for Miller. A couple hard hit balls, but 2 pitches in both, 2 outs. So 4 pitches into his day in the ninth. And Miller, it's important they try to keep it right where it is. I think James McCann, considering you're not giving up any runs, you don't normally take a catcher out on that spot. So he'll get another opportunity at this for A.J. Hinch. He'll get his final 3 outs and see what the Tigers can do. Fun game nonetheless. I'm definitely happy with that. Is Soto now will get an opportunity. So that was Emmanuel Rivera. And now Soto. Excuse me on that one. I apologize. 0-1. Soto trying to work quickly here. See if he can get 3 outs and 2 pitches apiece. This one hit pretty well. This is going to drop right toward the right field side for Kerry Carpenter. He'll play it on a hop, and this will extend the inning. I did get ahead of myself with James McCann, but he's here. And he'll get an opportunity right now. So Bryce Harper, 2 tanks, 27th to 28th. He had 3 RBI today. Some Tigers fans, they got the rally caps on right now. It was a good loaded crowd. You got a good mix of O's. You got some Lions jerseys. Everybody's going to be excited for this weekend because both teams are in action. Tigers still 2.5 back. 92 will be a strike. Kind of hope James McCann gets a hit here. I'm not going to lie. I want to see him get something going on with that full face mask because that was a brutal pitch that he took. Don't have to score around, but you let him get a walk, get a hit, get something to feel good about. 92. I don't want to see that go near his face, but it did. 1-1. There's Shelby Miller trying to get this done under 10 pitches. Now, the one good news, again, you got with the Twins and the Reds is 9-1 Cincinnati. The Tigers didn't have to really blow out any of their bullpen preeminent arms for tomorrow because tomorrow, let's say the Twins bounce back, the Tigers still be sitting at 2.5. But tomorrow is an absolute must-win. Drop 1 right now, you can't drop 2. You can't lose this series if you're Detroit. As we talk about this, the 9-game stretch with 6 against the O's and 3 against the Royals. They want to go 7-2. I hope that they can go 6-3, but even that would be a lot to ask. Soft toss, Ibanez to get this one to Keith, and it's the Tigers' last chance. Meadows, Keith Carpenter.
I'm not a CFO. This is not a penthouse. It's an Amazon commercial. I'm not even human.
When it comes to your finances, listen to the nerds. We've researched and reviewed thousands of financial products to help you make smarter decisions. Hurry up, agent. Only 20 seconds left.
But which one should cuts? The red or the blue?
Well, it's usually always the blue.
But there's a simple green one, the yellow.
Oh, there. Red ball. Behind you. Drink it now.
Of course.
Last call for Detroit, and we'll see what they can do. Thank you for joining me for this game, nonetheless, for you guys that had joined in. I really appreciate it. So the fourth, mercifully, is finally ended for the Minnesota Twins, but they are really up against it now. Giving up a 9 spot in the 4th inning, 9-1. That is the only good news for Detroit. For Seattle, this really opens the door for them because they beat Texas today. They'll be 2.5 back. Astros and Angels. So if the Mariners can win against the Rangers and the Angels beat the Astros, then they're going to feel really good about themselves tonight because they're still right in the driver's seat. If you look at the standings as far as not the wild card, just the division side of it, Seattle's only 4.5 back. I know there's not a lot of games left, but if Houston continues to flounder, I know they won a couple games lately, but they haven't been playing that well down the stretch. But at least I think if you're Seattle, concentrate on winning this game today. You're 2.5 back alongside the Tigers. You have a shot at this thing because Minnesota is not healthy. They're not playing good baseball right now. I think it'll be, 17 in the last 23? So not very good there. So the closer comes on the mound. This is a non-save situation for Sir Anthony Dominguez, former Philadelphia Philly. He's got a bomb of an arm. 54 and a third innings, but an ERA of 4. Parker Meadows knows how to hit bombs, and he knows how to hit velocity, and that's what you should expect right here, 96. I know Suarez about 102, Mason Miller about 104, but it is what it is. Parker Meadows can hit a high fastball if it's away from him or in. Good swing, Parker Meadows. This one at the track, it's gone! Parker Meadows with a solo shot. He's done it again. Tigers need more, but you just know in the 9th inning that this young man's going to come through. He just continues to get it done. Parker Meadows is going to take his trot. Man, oh man, this kid hit a fastball. You cannot make a mistake from it. You know that's what you're going to get from Dominguez. Somebody read the scouting report. Parker Meadows did not miss. He absolutely crushed that thing, kind of like Gunnar Henderson did on the right field side. So Tigers get something on the board right now. They need 3 more runs to at least continue this into the 10th. Colt Keith. I do feel good about Colt Keith right now because he's already kind of blunderbusted a couple of singles. We just fell in. See if he can do something again. And you never know with Kerry Carpenter and everything else there. So Parker Meadows did his job. See if Colt Keith can continue this. Good pitch. Slider backdoor at 90. 97. That split the plate. And Parker Meadows did not miss. Got out in front of the bat head and smashed that thing right field side. That's a good swing for Meadows. Colt Keith. They'll serve it right field side. Maybe I can say hold all tickets. Colt Keith with his 3rd single of the game. And the rally glasses, the caps, I think we're going to start to see that a little bit. If Tigers can get one more of these. As Colt Keith, this is a slider low. It was a 50-50 type take, but he got the bat head out in front and served to right field. Good work there for Colt. Tigers aren't done just yet. Kerry Carpenter. He takes a big cut. Oh, man. On a slider inside. I think he was going to try to put that the same way that Parker Meadows just did. This crowd is really into this right now. I woke them from their slumber after a home run and a single. No outs, bottom 9. Tigers down 3. Kerry Carpenter at the dish. It's 0-1. Kerry Carpenter. He tries to go and get a fastball, but this will be at the track. Cedric Mullins makes the catch. That was a little bit too low, but he still gave it a ride. About 390 feet, just shy of the track. Kerry Carpenter put a good swing on it. I just wish he wouldn't have reached for it. If he got something in the zone a little bit higher, that was probably gone, the way that was going. So he really went down to reach for that thing. He put a good swing on it nonetheless. And Sir Anthony Dominguez is not fooling any Tiger bats right now. 1 out, bottom 9. Riley, 98. This one low and outside. Make it 1-0. A little worried about Winsell Perez because he's not looked comfortable right now. He would be next. Riley Green, they need one more base runner. 89, outside on a slider. Make it 2-0. As Dominguez trying to work through it. Again, something about these non-save situations can make things difficult. 2-0. Tigers still got a lot of work to do, though. Green, good pitch. Slider, back door. low and to the right side of the box. 2-1. Dominguez trying to get back into this. Orioles trying to even up this series at a game apiece. 98, nowhere close. 3-1. Riley Green 0 for 3 today. The cloud is starting to get louder with each and every pitch because you know what that means. The Tigers get another base runner. Riley Green waiting on the 3-1. Got to find his pitch here. 3-1. Green, fly ball, right field. This one at the track, and it was caught by Santander. 2 good swings, but pitches that were in, pitches that were down. Just not enough to get the bat head on. Green gave it a ride, but they went after a couple pitches that they probably shouldn't because Green could have walked right there, and that could have extended things. So Wencel Perez has had a rough night for taking some of these cutters from Corbin Burns that were right down the middle, and the Reds have scored again. It's 10-1 now. Call off the dogs already, but I guess that's good for the Tigers. I will take it. It'll still be 2.5. And Tigers took a little bit too long to get going here. That's what it might seem like. Couple pitches, Kerry Carpenter almost near the track. Riley Green was at the track, but it was low and inside on both pitches. So Wencel Perez, 0 for 3, 98 takes. Again, these are pitches he could swing at that he has not swung at. It's not looked good today, not look comfortable in this 5 side. Crowd still in it, though. Runner at first, 2 outs. Colt Keith with his 3rd hit of the game. Parker Meadows homer. 98. Tigers are down to their last strike. That one swung right through from Sir Anthony Dominguez. Tigers down to their last strike, but it looks like they'll stay 2.5 back after today, after the rump roast that the Twins are. This toward the face. Is this going to be? This will be reached. Perez swung at nothing. He would have punched out, but that went all the way to the backstop. And for whatever reason, the Tigers are still alive. Wild pitch keeps the Tigers into it. And if Spencer Torkelson hits a home run, I'm going to lose my voice. Sir Anthony Dominguez took a fastball inside. Perez offered at it. He would have punched out. This goes all the way to the backstop, and Wencel Perez gets a strikeout, but he gets the first, and the Tigers are still alive. Spencer Torkelson, young sir, if there is a time to come through, it is right now. Pretend you know exactly what the pitch is going to be. They need some trash cans right now for Detroit. Bring those out. Torkelson needs something. I would say a single still continues it, but he really needs a tank right here. Unless they want to go with McKinstry or whatever else they got, because McKinstry is the only other bench bat, unless you're going to go Justin Henry Malloy. Tigers are still alive. It should have been strikeout on that side for Wencel Perez. It is, but he reached on a wild pitch. So 2 on, 2 out. Tigers need it bad. 3 runs. It's 4-1. Tying run is on base. And again, as we said with Detroit, they've made it interesting even if they don't make it. Last time I said that Parker Meadows hit a grand slam, but now it's Torkelson. He needs it bad. Down to 5 seconds. Big cut for Torkelson, not close. He went right for the downs, right from the jump. And that was smart for Dominguez to not even put that anywhere near close to the strike zone. 4 career home runs, 9th inning or later for Tork. 0-1. Torkelson pops it up. Is this going to go foul? He's down to his final strike. He's still alive for the moment, but Tork's up against it right now, 0-2. He got a little anxious on both. He chased one, and that fastball, he got out ahead of it. Tigers down to their final strike. It's a 4-1 game. It's been entertaining in the end, at least with Parker Meadows and Colt Keith. But this is last call for Detroit. Torkelson, runners at first and second. Perez and Keith. Base hit. That could extend it as they run the carousel. Colt Keith scores, and Torkelson keeps it going. It's 4-2. And now the winning run is going to come to the base paths. Tigers not done yet. Spencer Torkelson, soft serve single down the second base side past Soto. And now what are they going to do as far as the order? Because I need to pull this on the box. You have Andy Ibanez, but I do think AJ Hinch, according to this ESPN box, has put Zach McKinstry in for Andy Ibanez. So the only other batter that's available right now, Matt Bowman's getting busy in a hurry, and so is Gregory Soto, as they had nobody warming up right now. Brandon Hyde has watched the lead be tenuous from 4-0 to 4-2. So Zach McKinstry going to try to get this one set for the lefty-righty matchup. Can Zach McKinstry come through? Can the Tigers walk it off? 10-1. The Reds have the lead over the Twins, so it'll stay 2.5 at worst. Something about the Tigers, as we've done these broadcasts down the stretch. 0-1. First pitch is a strike. Dominguez, 21 pitches. It wasn't a safe situation, but it'll certainly be now. McKinstry, 89 slider, not close. Make it 1-1. Heart's starting to race a little bit, folks. I mean, that's how you know you're in the middle of a playoff chase right now. Trying to make it exciting here for Zach McKinstry and the Tigers. 90. Not called on a slider. That was outside. Did not get the benefit of the doubt there for Anthony Dominguez. The count flumps to 2-1. The crowd getting louder with each and every pitch. Tigers trying to make a run. 2-1. Here's a swing from McKinstry. Grounded to first, and the O's win. The Tigers made it interesting. They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th, but the run was petered out. O's win. They even up the series right now. Tigers will try to take it on Sunday, but the good news is they don't lose any spot in the wild card. It'll be 2.5. But if the Mariners beat the Texas Rangers tonight, that will go to 2.5. And things get a little more tight, and that'll make the next week's side of the assignments interesting, because I'm thinking about Tigers and Royals, but I'll probably have to jump in with Cooper Hopkins if he wants to do a Mariners game, see if they can run in the postseason. So Corbin burns the Tigers. That's the lead that we're going to use. Final score, Tigers make it interesting, but O's take it 4-2. This was a good one. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me, guys. Good one. Tigers try to make a rally. Comes up short. They lose 4-2. And the vote, 2 out of 3 of you say no about the Tigers just 2.5 back. But you know what? They're just 2.5 back after tonight. We'll take the good news and the silver lining. See you guys next week.